Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
I'm Dakota.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid, because this week we recommend Star Wars: A New Hope. Yeah!
Where's the
our
text
first
call?
Star Wars. So,
Baby's first Star Wars.
so like this is y'all like this movie?
Sorry.
Yes.
This is pretty good, right? Decent.
Don't even play. Don't try this right now.
We already did this bit in the last episode that hasn't been released yet. So
I don't care.
all right,
Prepare.
I want to immediately start with our rankings. Jason, what? Just the Skywalker saga, which is the 9 films, prequels,
There's
sequels,
so many.
and originals. How would you rank them?
Number 1.
Okay, what's number 1?
One.
I rank them all 1.
They're all
I'll start, for example.
Phantom Menace, number 1.
Oh, I hate my
Misa's
favorite.
so angry.
Number 1 with a bullet, Empire Strikes Back. Avi. Then A New Hope. Then Last Jedi. Then I guess I'll probably go Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, probably Clone Wars, then probably what's the one that Revenge of the Sith, then Phantom Menace, then probably Rise of Skywalker, because it's just a deplorable movie. And
This is like very well, our lists are like the same, but you could definitely see the difference of like preference here in mine versus yours.
yeah, well, the first 2 are perfect movies, and the next one, the rest of them, there's parts I like, obviously, of Last Jedi and Return of the Jedi, and then portions of it where I'm like, they missed the mark here. And then everything after those 2, I'm like, I don't know. I'll watch Clone Wars because it's funny, and the rest of them,
I don't like sand. It's rough and coarse.
the rest of them are just like boring and just I don't enjoy.
But you do have to
Except
watch them, though.
Specific Rise of Skywalker is just everything wrong with movies today.
I didn't put notes, but I had because I didn't want to go crazy. But I have quick tangents for mine. All right,
Okay.
my ranking: Empire Strike Back. I mean, it's just
Empire Strikes Back. I'm so
It does.
sorry.
I take it back. I'm done.
I'm so sorry.
My second one is Revenge of the Sith.
Hell yeah.
Dude, like fucking
That one's good.
put you in a coffin and bury you alive.
Because of how good it is, I know.
Because of how boring and dumb it is.
Have you watched Attack
all
of
right,
the
all right,
Clones?
all right, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. This is
All
a
right, my
happy
third one
This is a happy podcast.
Is A New Hope.
Okay.
My fourth and
It's
fifth
insane
one,
that you just-
depending. I don't know. I have an arrow swapping. I was like, my fourth one, I was like, which one do I really watch more? I was like, I do want to watch, I like Phantom Menace. Not for reasons of being a good movie, but for reasons of just the Jedi stuff is more amped up in it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
my
dude.
reason for liking it.
Hmm.
Which is, I think, our differences in movies
That
is
I
because
hate.
you watch Star Wars for movie stuff, not for the just all the nerdy extra shit.
No, I just think those movies are bad, man. Like
They are bad movies.
Even for Star Wars, like they don't even make Star Wars good anymore.
And didn't they change the entire dogma with the Phantom Menace? Because like the Force in this one and the New Hope is like something you can learn.
Mhm.
But in Phantom Menace, it's
It's-
like you got the midichlorians in your blood.
Yeah, they kind of went back and kind of fixed that.
Force babies.
Yeah, that was,
Anakin's a Force baby.
yeah, that was bad. But it's just saying like this is what allows us. But you could say anyone has it. That's the thing. They've kind of come back and said anyone has midichlorians. It's
It's
just
just not enough.
Yeah, that the whole thing, which is one of my notes, is I hate that part. Was I prefer I'm tired of bloodline stuff. We've been doing it for this long, even with Grogu and stuff.
For 9 movies.
Even
Plus.
it's spilling out and everything. I was like, can we just get away from this? Bring someone new in who doesn't have to be tied to anything. I'm done with it. I'm ready for a new person. I want it to be, which is what I loved about, even though,
And that's
my
exactly what they did in Star Wars XXX and from 2012.
Oh, hell yeah. Great cinematic. I actually thought it was more of a documentary. Person.
I have no idea what's
Some
I
going
parody
went into
tropes.
I went into the history of Star Wars based pornographies. And there's
the only
Give
research
us your
Jason
rankings
does.
on that one.
Yeah, well, there's only like I haven't seen any of them, but like there's in 1977 after this movie came out, there was Star Babe, and then 85 was Space Nuts, and then in 2012 was Star Wars XXX. which I think is a full.
You said
featured
Triple
film.
X, and I was thinking like the Vin Diesel movie,
Vin
and I was
Diesel.
like,
Oh, man,
I
hell
was like,
yeah.
what is this?
Give
Am
me
I
this.
missing something?
Put them in them.
Speaking of parodies, when Survivor was messing up the other day because of the weather,
Mhm.
I typed in Survivor on my Apple TV, and one of the first options that come up is a porn parody of Survivor.
Yes.
What?
Yes,
That's
and-
watched that one.
That's wild. Is it 15 episodes long?
I don't know what it is. Anyways, I have 4 for Phantom Menace, 5 for Return of the Jedi, 6 Clone Wars, 7 Force Awakens, 8 Rise of Skywalker, 9 Last Jedi.
Okay. What do you got, Jason?
Yep.
He's like, I can't remember all
I
these.
can't remember the
It's
lines.
all right. I had to look up Rise of Skywalker.
How about this? Rank the originals, sequel, and
Just
prequels.
the three.
Just the threes. Yeah. Which ones do you prefer to watch?
Well, I guess it's gonna be Empire, then New Hope, then
Return.
The Return.
Okay. Sounds good. Whew.
I have so many things, just like little notes, but we got to move on.
Yeah.
Just like,
So, yeah. Star Wars, right?
Yeah, dude.
some lasers and space wizards.
Yeah.
So my grandmother gave me the 3-movie box set for
Mhm.
Christmas. She didn't know shit about me. And she didn't know, she was the worst at gift giving. Like the previous year, she gave me Guitar Plays the Eagles, where it was an Eagles album, but only guitar.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That's
Okay.
pretty wild.
But then this one Christmas, she gave me the box set, and I just fell in love with it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I actually have never owned any Star Wars until the sequels came out, and I just started buying those because it's always been a box set and they're huge. And I was kind of hoping they'd eventually get rid of the updated versions of the movies, so there's not CGI in it. Really bad CGI.
That was my other note. Currently, so the original version,
I heard about this.
yes, they've restored it, like proper color correction, and they're going to re-release it in theaters. It's like, can we also just release it out? Because as part of my notes watching this, I was like, this CGI is so unnecessary.
Literally
So good.
ruined some scenes.
It ruined a lot of scenes for me.
Like the Jabba the Hutt stuff. I mean, come on.
There wasn't CGI.
Oh, yeah.
ever.
I will say, for 1977, the CGI looked pretty good.
Yes,
It was pretty good CGI in 1977.
Hell yeah.
that Jabba stuff.
Jabba looked great for 77.
I don't
I
even
can't-
remember him being in there.
It wasn't.
It's just some guy.
I think they filmed the scene and they never made it in the original, right? And
Well,
then
no, it was in the original.
it was.
Yeah,
This is-
it's
I feel
just
like this is
I-
the first time
are
I've
you
ever
sure?
seen it.
I really never remember that scene.
Get
Oh.
your shit together, Jesse.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think Jabba's scene was in there. He added it because he had recorded talking to him, and he added it in later for future build up. Because I don't.
I just remember watching the scene though.
It was
with the
pretty funny.
guy where it was just the guy.
Well, they've had so many different versions.
I just watched these so much as a kid. I feel like I remember.
I
it, but
don't
maybe
remember it.
I don't
I'm
remember
cuckoo
it at all.
crazy.
I remember having the
Yeah, I
original
could be wrong.
VHS of each individual one. If I
Yeah.
still had them, I would love it because I did find when I was moving a triple pack of VHSs. Like they were gold. I don't know when they released those. I've been meaning to look up to see if there's any edits in that one and see how good it is.
Mm-hmm. So, I want to. Who's y'all's favorite character in this movie? Like, obviously you got Chewie, R2, C-3PO, Leia, Luke,
R2.
Han.
He cusses like a sailor.
So who's y'all's favorite Star Wars character, especially from these originals?
For the originals, so just solely on A New Hope, I would say I really like Alec Guinness.
Oh, just as your favorite character?
Yeah, I just like his character because when I don't know what it is, I do like Han, but it's the same. He's the scoundrel. It's the same thing, but I just something about Alec Guinness just feels like he has a different purpose, like a mysterious thing to him.
Yeah.
I like it a little bit more. Luke has just got his set path for him. He's the destined person, and I think it's just Alec feels like he's his own different thing going on.
Yeah, because he's like, what the fuck is this movie I'm doing here? What is this mumbo jumbo? Because he wasn't super into being in this movie at all. And he still he didn't like it even after the movie made him a bunch of money. Which I have a note here. It made him lots of money, but Alec Guinness hated Star Wars.
I mean, look what it did to their. That's all you gotta ask. Star Wars created the hardcore nerd annoying people culture.
Yeah, that he had to deal with the rest of his life.
You don't understand. They're I hate Star Wars, and I see why, because it created those fanboys who like, I mean, it created a whole genre and world of its own, and it created a
Whole
subculture.
generations of Porkins.
Yeah. Yes.
So something Guinness said. So apparently he was super professional on set and like during production and all that. But when he was sending letters to a friend of his called Ann Kaufman, criticizing the film and everything about it. Below is an excerpt. My dear Anne, I've been offered a new movie, science fiction, which gives me pause, but it is to be directed by Lucas, who did American Graffiti, which makes me feel I should. Big part, fairy tale rubbish, but could be interesting. And then later he wrote, new rubbish dialogue reaches me every day, and none of it makes my character clear or even bearable. I just think of the lovely bread, and that keeps me going. I must off to the studios now to work with a dwarf who has to wash in a bidet, and your countryman Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, a rangy, languid young man who is probably intelligent and amusing. God, they make me feel so 90. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And there's another one, like famous story told in Guinness's memoirs. In 1979, a sweet-faced boy of 12 told me he had seen Star Wars 100 times. Looking into the boy's eyes, I detected madness beginning to form, and I said, I would love you to do something for me. And the guy said, anything, sir. Do you think you could promise me to never see Star Wars again? He burst into tears. His mother said, what a dreadful thing to say to a child, and dragged the poor kid away. Maybe she was right, but I just hope the lad, now in his 30s, is not living in a fantasy world of secondhand childish banalities.
No, he's just sitting in his room throwing knives at a picture of him.
So should us 30-somethings keep talking about Star Wars that we've been watching since we were a kid?
Permeated every area of society.
Yeah,
it is.
It really created fandom, which was cool for a while, and now fandom is not cool anymore.
No, because
you can't just. I don't know. People were cuckoo crazy.
They're still cuckoo crazy. Like I'm on that side. It's so weird because when I sit here and talk about what I don't like about, like when I don't like the stuff in the sequels, when I say I don't like The Last Jedi and I have someone else talking about it, it's funny because it's like now there's different types of fanboys. There's the fanboys who don't like The Last Jedi because they're crazy right-wingers and they're like, I didn't like it because this. I'm like, no, I don't want to be rubbed in with you. I just don't like it because I have certain complaints with it. No. We're done with this conversation.
Yeah.
And then like it's so bad because of what's infected with the fandom is when I try and have like my certain complaints, like Mandalorian, first 2 seasons. I was like, this is what we should be having had the theme with the sequels. Cool. And then now it's like, we're whoring everything out.
Yes.
Everything from everything's going to be in everything.
It's like, Porkins. We're definitely getting a prequel.
Hey, but you know what? We have a damn fine movie here and called Star Wars. Why do they guys sound like donkeys, dude? It's like, man, we used to have imagination.
The Sand People and the Jawas are like my favorite.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
This movie just,
who did it?
Damn, like, it fucking looks good.
It does. That's literally like 5 of my notes is this movie and how it looks.
It's like every time I turn it on, I get excited when the scrolls have it's scrolling through the words and stuff, those things. With
that I never read
letters.
As a child.
And then, like, man, soon as you see that giant ship, it's just like, I'm a kid again. It's amazing.
All right. Hold on a second. My first note.
Sorry.
That's me closing my book. I said that opening text crawl so good, brings back kid memories. That's exactly what I said.
When people used to read.
It's funny that Return of the Jedi is my least favorite of the originals because that was the one I watched as a kid a lot.
Yes.
Like, my mom would always go to the library. I didn't get no stupid books. What do you think? I'm a nerd? But I'd always like.
Explains why you can't talk.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely correct. But I'd always get like a movie, and I got the third movie all the time to the point where mom's like, stop. Watch anything else.
But so think about that. How often you watch that, but not to be that person who, it's weird how there's that line of the person who looks and lives in that Star Wars world, like that kid who met Alec Guinness met, versus someone who appreciates the movie and can separate it and just enjoy it. I wonder what just tips you over in your worldview to change that. Because
that's how I am. I just like, I do love all the movies. I watch them all. I probably won't really watch Rise of Skywalker. That's just like the bane of all creativity.
You know,
to me.
even though I have Last Jedi as my last one, I have seen that one more than I have seen Rise of Skywalker. I have only seen Rise of Skywalker one time. That was in theater.
You should try to rewatch it. It makes you hate just movies.
Well, so the problem with that is that you know how like I watch stuff and like I can remember it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's been a lot of clips that have just popped up from the like Rise of Skywalker, and I'm like, I really don't think I could rewatch this movie.
It's like, say whatever you want about The Last Jedi, but at least there was vision by somebody.
I wish that they would.
Instead of just like,
There's some good scenes in there.
I went on the internet and I saw what people
Rise
hated.
of
Let me try it.
There's a lot there. I think if Ryan Johnson got to at least, if he got to continue and do the next one, not Rise of Skywalker,
Fucking rip, dude.
it would have been something. Even though I had my complaints with Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi, I feel like if he got to continue doing a vision, that's what they should have done.
You have a few complaints about Last Jedi.
I had a lot.
You have all the prequels in front of it. Those are like just some of the
that was
biggest garbage on.
There's a difference. I enjoy the prequels mainly because they're just the early Jedi stuff.
Yeah, the blocking, directing, writing, all that good stuff.
See, you're talking about stuff that like is someone who watches it as a movie buff.
Yeah,
I'm
movie.
watching it as just enjoying it for. I watched it as a kid a lot. Those are the ones I watched a lot after watching all of those. And I remember being that I was probably that I could just say everything because when I was a kid watching Phantom Menace in the theaters, I was laughing my ass off to Jar Jar Binks, and I bet you those hardcore fanboys are just sitting here like,
yes.
It's just like so boring. All of them, all the prequels.
hey, you know what the problem was about in the first one? Trade wars and tariffs and all the problems with the blockades and stuff. It's almost like they can emulate real life.
Yeah,
currently.
that's the worst part of it now. It's like, damn, now I can't even find the funny.
You love Andor because of the realistic take it does everything. That's literally what the thing is for the first one. Politics.
I didn't even finish Andor.
Oh, I thought you did. I've been wanting to.
The Bad Batch was cool.
I liked Bad Batch. I don't know if I ever got around to finishing that though. Oh,
I don't know.
They announced. I don't know if you like it. They announced a Maul animated show. Darth Maul.
Oh.
I thought it's like, oh damn, I would love a nice Maul movie. Animated Maul show.
Rats, but Star Wars.
Hell yeah!
Thanks.
If you have you done Mall Rats? You did Mall Rats.
Yeah, we did Mall Rats.
I wish I had done that because after watching it,
yeah.
Quick side note on that, I was like, this is so strange. Because my girlfriend was like, why? It's like, this is Stan Lee.
Yeah.
There's not a line really.
Yeah.
Do you know what this would be in modern day?
Right. Yeah.
He would be swarmed. It is that clicking moment of like how much mainstream superhero nerd stuff has come. It's like that's an eye opener right there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So all right. So we keep going off topic. Probably won't really do too many facts. Everybody knows everything about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess this like whenever you watch this movie, like what is it about it that makes you like it? Right? Like, what is it specifically for you that you like, why you like it? Because, I mean, it's pretty, for me, especially now when you look back at all the other Star Wars, it's so simple, cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you get good actors, it looks awesome. And it's like, there's a lot of mumbo jumbo in it, but it's really not that bad, especially compared to like prequels and stuff like that. And even like compared to superheroes movies now, it's just like, what are y'all saying anymore? And it's like, even this movie with a bunch of like just like gibberish, it's simple, it's cut, it's dry. You just got, here's your hero. He's not a hero yet. He's like wants to be going on the hero's journey, but he's like, oh, I don't want to. And then I do. It's like literally every hero's tale.
And then he gives everyone shit for not wanting to do the same.
Yeah. But then you like put all these like dope, great, like charismatic actors around him, and it fucking goes. Right. Yeah. You have a dope little lightsaber battle by two geriatric men.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. I love it. I love like the more realistic lightsaber battles for me. I don't really
That's
like
not really realistic.
I don't like the prequels where they're just like just throwing their swords in there. I'm like, why are we fighting like this?
Flipping around a lot.
It's called shit. Do you know like
they're Jedi Knights, they're not Jedi like I don't even know what you'd call that type of sword fighting.
They all have you
like parkour.
I wanted to go so
I don't know. I just don't like the flippy sword battles. Like to me, I'm just like, there's no thrill in it for me. It's just like, yo, this is so choreographed. It's whatever for me. There's no emotion in it.
I don't believe in the over choreographed. If you say over choreographed is a thing, then you hate John Wick, because that is what that is. Over choreographed, someone who knows the role very well.
But that like they're like using guns and stuff, and it looks cool.
So it's so much cooler.
It's
If it was fucking John Wick and being someone who in Star Wars, you would say, "Oh, this is great." It's like it's the same thing. Lightsabers are fighting stances.
Dude, there's a complete difference between the fighting in John Wick versus the fighting in the prequels.
How so?
How?
It's like more like barbaric feeling, which is
because it's guns and stuff.
No, even just like punching and stuff, like in lightsabers hitting. It's just like, and it's like, to me, that's just not entertaining.
It's because they're deflecting.
I didn't like it.
Have you ever? So when I used to do karate, you know what you had to do to display your skills to get another belt? You had to do stances, and if you do the same thing with
I'm just telling you, I think it looks like poo poo when I see him fight in prequels.
You go out there and do what they did then. See how well.
I know that's hard, but it's just like, to me, like visually, I'm just like, I mean, how about y'all like just make this more interesting for me to watch? I mean, I get that, like as a kid, it's like really like, whoa, Yoda's flipping, and I'm like,
it's hard to hit someone.
Yoda
before the
has
sequels,
a lightsaber. Why would Yoda have a lightsaber? And why is it tiny? Why wouldn't he just be like the ultimate Force guy? To me, that makes more sense than like, I'm a tiny guy.
Can you just crush him like a tin can with?
You have to focus. Then you have other people's wills you're fighting against as well.
It'd be like whenever he goes against Count Dooku, it'd just be more interesting if it was a Force battle instead of like a lightsaber battle. They had that,
but they're like, there's not like he couldn't beat him in a Force battle. But the thing is that your Force strength can only make up for so much. Like someone who's Anakin, the chosen one, with how strong he is in the Force. But there's only so much you can do when someone's about to come at your face, going me, because you have to concentrate and focus.
Yeah,
that's just can't rip him apart limb by limb.
Because someone who's a Jedi could be weaker in the Force, but a very strong combatant with a lightsaber. That's what Mace Windu was. Is that he was one of the best ones. That's why he was able to beat Palpatine.
Nice.
Well, I like the lightsaber battle in this one. It's
as much as I would love to see Samuel Jackson come back. Please stop bringing back dead characters. For the love of God, stop it.
They don't do that.
I just said Maul got a new show.
Well, they're not bringing him back.
He
died.
Him
as a teenager, he's got pimples.
No, it's going to be after
we're going to have
Revenge.
a pizza restaurant. He's just slicing.
He's already got red face. I mean,
so yeah. What do y'all like about this movie? We got in a rant. Sorry.
I mean, probably similar to you.
Yeah, I kind of said everything. I'm sorry.
Well, visual effects. The story is like, it works. Everything feels real. My big, the other thing I had was when we're on the desert planet, I'm like, man, you don't feel like this is a real desert planet. It feels like it's character.
Flesh out the world. Yeah.
It's real sand dunes versus what we have now is the set and the CGI stuff in the background. I was like, anytime I watch newer Star Wars and we're on a sand planet, I'm like, I feel like it's alien. So I feel like they're on an alien world, but I also don't feel like it's real. When we're on here on this planet that we never fucking leave anymore now.
Yeah.
I felt like it was more realistic. It had character, and C-3PO when he was getting a bath, I was like, that's a good point, because I thought you were looking fucking dirty, man.
Yeah. So we'll talk about a little bit. So like Lucas struggled to get the film made, right? So in 1973, George Lucas directed American Graffiti. Have y'all watched it?
Nope.
It's got like the lead character is Ron Howard, from Happy Days and stuff like that. The main character from that.
I think we need to talk about
it's a coming of age drama set in the 1950s, Americana. Sorry. And it was just kind of like a movie that takes place over like one day. I've seen parts of it. So it had a budget of like $777,000. It made over $140 million.
Nice.
So George Lucas just like whipped it out on the table and was like, I can make money. So in terms of like budget to gross ratio, it was actually twice as successful as Star Wars.
Nice.
Just in terms of budget. So following this success, United Artists asked Lucas if he had any more ideas, and he told him about a space opera that's a bit like a Western and a bit like James Bond.
Hell yeah.
Agree?
Space opera.
The James Bond part is got to be Han Solo.
Yeah, that's...
no, he's the Western part. The James Bond would be what Alec Guinness did. He's secretly trying to take the base out, and I could see his more role being the...
I guess I just see it. Ford's character, Han Solo, comes off more... James Bond.
Scoundrel.
Well,
hey Leia, you want to come back? I don't know. Why did I go so fast? Stallone.
And it's just like we need dinner every time. I guess it's because I see your interpretations. Like most of James Bond I've ever seen is Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So my interpretation of James Bond is not the want to have sex with everybody all the time, and he's more reserved and kind of calm, but he does go out and shoot. That's why I think Alec Guinness. But I guess it depends on your version of James Bond that you grew up with.
Yeah.
I was mostly Pierce Brosnan.
How many movies did he have?
Like 3.
3? Okay. I just remember the one where he's like surfing with the fucking tent thing, and I was like, oh wow, these effects are terrible.
Yes, they are.
So it can't be Goldeneye, which they're coming out with another one.
Oh no.
Yeah. So to continue where I was at,
Game.
So then at that point he was like, oh, I'll turn in my like 14-page treatment called the Star Wars, and UA, United Artists, passed on it. So did Universal. So did Disney. There was a division of Paramount called the Directors Company that was owned by Francis Ford Coppola, Godfather, William Friedkin, Exorcist, and Peter Bogdanovich, which I can't remember what he did, and I really hate that I don't. He brought it to them, and they're like, I don't think so. They didn't believe in him. And then Lucas then pitched the idea to the head of 20th Century Fox, Alan Ladd. On that pitch, Ladd says, I had no idea what George was talking about, but I knew that he was talented, so I invested in him, and he greenlit the film with an $8 million budget.
You know, the
in
picture
total,
I have in my head
11.
of Alan Ladd is like a boy in a sailor suit.
I'm the best lad around.
Damn, that's exactly what I thought too.
With a lollipop.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then apparently Brian De Palma helped him out a lot. He did like Carrie, the first Mission Impossible blowout that you hate.
Mission Impossible is amazing.
Yeah. He really helped him with the film. And I guess the last thing I know, so Lucas agreed to get paid $150,000 by Fox for writing and directing the film. It's not a huge amount at the time. On 2 conditions. Lucas would get full rights over any sequels to Star Wars. Smart. He got rights to all Star Wars merchandise, toys, books, video games,
I love
clothing.
that so much. I thought it wasn't. Because if you look at that, like, sure, who cares?
Yeah.
And since 1977, George Lucas has made $6 billion off of toys, video games.
But then he sold it for what, $4 billion or more?
Yeah, so a total of like $10 billion.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that we could go into, but you know.
You got any facts about Ralph McQuarrie? I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a blank. It's the guy who did mainly all the art, because if you look at the concept art for 3PO and them, it had more of that definite like what people thought the future was going to look like in the 50s. When people in the 50s thought the future was going to look like. He had more of that style with drawing it. Especially with 3PO and like how they definitely carried it over. But his design for Vader, I really like it. Like his mask was a lot more angular and sharp. I couldn't probably translate it to real world, is why it looked like that. But
never seen it. That sounds cool.
They released a figure like years ago with like the Ralph McQuarrie. I can't remember his fucking last name. I really love it. It's just concept for it was really neat.
Hell yeah.
I had something on here for
I wish I would have made Darth
you
Vader.
can do Control F to find stuff.
Concept artists and sound designers played big roles. Ralph McQuarrie was the concept artist of the movie and designed, among other things, Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, the 2 droids, Chewbacca, the X-Wings, TIE Fighters, Star Destroyers, the Death Star lightsabers. When Lucas first submitted the script for Star Wars to Alan Ladd at 20th Century Fox, he included Ralph McQuarrie's concept art to help visualize the idea. Alan Ladd said, without that art, there was no way it would have gotten past the board, so McQuarrie's importance to Star Wars is huge. And there is some some pictures that go with it that show like the lightsabers looked a little bit different. When he was called Star Killer, he had like more of a suit with like almost like a gas mask type look to it and stuff.
It's kind of badass.
Darth Vader looks pretty much the same. There's also visuals of stormtroopers with lightsabers. And then the sound designer was Ben Burtt, and he created pretty much all the now iconic effects in Star Wars, like blasters, the breathing, R2 beeps and whistles, Chewie's growls, the lightsabers, the scream. Burtt won his first of 4 Oscars on Star Wars. He also won for Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. Extraterrestrial, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. Now, so George Lucas thought the movie was going to be like terrible. He thought nobody was going to watch it and nobody was going to like it. So he took a trip to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg during the initial release of Star Wars. That's where they came up with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Hell yeah. That's kind
Oh.
of cool.
But then he got word that like Star Wars is a mega hit, and he's like, "I'm a genius."
You think that
I knew
inflated
it
him
the
a little
whole
bit?
time.
Well, I mean, he still did a good job on the next one.
Yeah.
He just like I don't know if it was just like on Return of the Jedi. He's like, "Damn, son, that toy money's great."
I think I could see like what you told me, because wasn't you said his wife was like a ghostwriter, co-writer?
Well, his wife ended up fixing this film. So he originally had a different editor for this film, and then like this had a lot of the. If you go back and look at deleted scenes on it, like the whole beginning is being like the battle at the beginning where Darth Vader's walking in on Leia and like there's shots and stuff. That's being intercut with him Luke talking to his friends, like the guy that he meets up later with the
Biggs?
Yeah. And it's just, if you look at that dialogue, Mark Hamill's terrible in it. It's just it's a poorly directed shot and everything. He's like trying to be drunk and it's so bad. And that was intercut with the beginning of the movie, and there was a lot of pacing issues. So she came in, and like her and some of the editors that helped with like Brian De Palma, huge for Star Wars, by the way. Like we owe a lot to him as well. Like those three like sat down and edited it and made it faster paced and just cleaned it up.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, she's supposedly the woman that fixed Star Wars. She saved Star Wars, they say. And they got divorced, like I think after the second movie or in the middle of the second movie or after it was done for the production. And then we got the rest of George Lucas's Star Wars after
And
that.
it shows you how much, I don't know. I think that shows you more of like how much this was like, it's one of those like you see someone who like when someone leaves a project, it's like, man, it just feels like something's kind of different.
Maybe the last person that could tell him, "Hey, George, that's a bad idea."
Yeah.
Yeah, no one was probably willing to tell him no. Because look, people idolize him. And then like, you always need someone around you. That's why you always see the joke of someone saying, I want to keep this person around because they are willing to tell me how it is.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They're the person who can keep you grounded to see your mistakes.
Yeah. A couple things before we hop into the film.
Yeah.
Some notes I had. R2D2, C3PO, they're totally our audience surrogate, and I love that about them. It's how you come into the film with them. Essentially, the first characters you meet, they just kind of are along for the ride for the whole time. They do a little few things in it. Well, they kind of save everybody's ass a lot. But I love that. They're two great characters.
Yeah,
I love how a
amazing.
sassy bitch that C3PO is just sitting there like bonking R2D2 over the head all the time.
He's so sensitive.
I love that it feels like there's actual stakes in this
Yeah.
movie. It's just like, it's hard not to watch this and think like, oh, 3 movies came before it. And then it's like, when you watch those 3 movies, it's like, it doesn't really feel like there's that many stakes. There's like maybe like a couple, like all of Clone Wars, I feel like there's no stakes in that movie. There's
Yeah.
like, with the Phantom Menace, there's obviously Qui-Gon. And then like the end of Revenge of the Sith, it feels like there's stakes between the 2 actors. But outside of that, there feels like there's no stakes during any of those movies for me.
Yeah, this
That's
one,
a personal thing.
This one, it's like millions of people are gonna die.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
billions
they
of
blew
people
up a planet.
are dying.
Is like, holy shit. Also, something I like: aliens speak their own language.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
not just talking English like they do
That
in
is
like
cool.
the rest of the movies outside of the first 3.
And if
which
you
is
ever
fun.
stop to say, how can they understand each other? There's always someone there to say, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like anytime C3PO starts talking, it's like, dude, we should fucking shut up. I love that Princess Leia has a lot of agency in this movie.
Yes.
And it's like compared to the prequels, like Padme's just
Oh, she's
mostly a wet blanket.
well. It is
Mhm.
weird
Yes.
how Leia has so much more get up and go versus. I guess if you look at it, they're trying to draw that line of like Padme grew up. She is like straight up a princess and political
Mhm.
versus Leia, who
also,
other,
Bell Organa was a senator, right?
uh-huh.
So what makes her a princess?
Well, she was a senator probably for
That
the-
Alderaan, right?
well, like maybe like a senator of like, because you know how like we have senators to represent us. Maybe he was a senator to represent them, but maybe he was higher up on Alderaan in their own political world.
I was like, we had 9 movies. We never figured that out.
That's a good point. The one thing you could draw for like Leia's character is that her other half of her genes is Anakin.
Yeah. Also love I love how whiny and bitchy Luke
Luke
is.
Yeah.
And literally, Harrison Ford is a smoke show. And just, if he wasn't in this movie, I don't think it would be nearly as, I don't think I would have liked it as much, even as a kid. It's always been my favorite. I loved it. I loved his vest
Yeah, man.
and the way he carried
It's
a
great.
blaster.
Was I remember reading a thing that was talking about Mark Hamill applying for the role,
Mhm.
and I think he
Oh.
saw Harrison Ford. And he's like, oh, he's going to be the leading character.
He's like, damn it.
Yeah.
He's more handsome than me.
It's like, wait, oh man. And then it's like, I bet during the movie, though, I'm going to be the quirky little, like the quirky guy that's like the hero, though. Then it's like Han Solo's like quirkier and everything than him. It's like, oh, okay. I guess
They
I'm just.
handed him the role of little bitch.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, so I'm just so whiny, like blank sheet of a character. Then, but I mean, that's how most heroes are when they start. They're just like, someone's just like bland little guy. And then they're like,
I'm just a boy. I don't want to farm anymore.
and now.
He says he
I
doesn't
hope
want
my
to
uncle
farm.
dies.
Yeah.
He says that, and then when Obi-Wan presents him the opportunity, he's been talking about leaving. He's like, "Well, I can't leave." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
so you all
I
talk."
bet Obi-Wan killed his uncle.
And
Aunt Beru.
Had to get that journey started somehow. You just
also,
gave Disney an idea.
another thing is
Oh,
that
yeah.
Luke is able to fly and do a bunch of stuff with almost no training or showing it visually on TV, and no one had a problem with that.
Yeah, no. When going back and watching that, no.
I was like, he blew up a Death Star, and people were complaining about Rey.
The only thing you can say about that is the Force, and that's because there's always that catch-all thing. Like,
Shit, that's all he did in this.
Yeah.
And like Rey did the same thing. Everybody was mad at
The
it.
force of the gaps.
well, people like playing like devil's advocate is that when you watch Star Wars, it's a different time. You can't show everything, obviously. So it's like as time goes on, you're like, okay, like we would need to see, because there's also been like a lot of in between A New Hope and all of this lore that come out to show Luke's training. But as you like, okay, like when we get into newer movies, we need to see the training that is established, because the prequels
We don't.
show training that happened. Anakin doesn't show up again until Attack of the Clones. He had like 10 years of training. That's why I think it's people's wanting to see training is that at least you see it in Empire Strikes
It
Back.
connects the ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, for Force Awakens being the first time we meet Rey, it's the same thing as Luke in A New Hope, but everybody had a problem
Oh
with
no,
it.
you're completely right. Like
Oh,
when
I thought you were like saying like, no, this. I'm like,
no,
It's the
when
exact same
Rey
thing.
starts flying the Millennium Falcon, I was like, she's like, don't touch. Completely says like that thing's a piece of junk. It sucks. I was like, so she knows it flies. She's flown it before.
yeah.
That's why she's like familiar. And when she starts to fly the ship, she's like, I can do this. I can do this. She's obviously not confident.
Yeah.
And
Though
it's
she did have like a lightsaber battle with the Sith, essentially. So
yeah,
I can understand that.
That
But
would
she,
be my problem.
she closed her eyes and she breathed and she had the Force and he was
Hell
hurt.
yeah, dude.
So it's okay.
Well, when I first watched that, my thing was like, well, everyone has like certain quirks of like force abilities. Like, what if she's like communicating and she's able to channel like they did kind of in Rise of Skywalker? Like she channels other, like it would have been more cool if we saw like she channeled someone in that moment. And also,
It's probably Luke. It was his lightsaber.
yeah, of all the other stuff that they did, that was cool. But you also try and think of Kylo was shot.
Yeah.
He was weak.
It's hurt.
And then her channeling it in that moment, he underestimated her. You can kind of connect the dots to get it away, but they didn't explain it later. That would have been better.
And also, last thing before we get into it, fucking gonk droid. Are
Hey,
you kidding
that's
me?
one of my notes.
Gonk, 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 gonk.
Is that the
And,
one that looks like a trash can?
Yeah, it's like
and also, McClunky, baby.
What?
Which one?
Greedo just fucking says McClunky and then gets shot. It's the best.
Oh, the captions didn't.
It's like, McClunky.
I was using my little like home server to stream it, so my captions weren't on
Oh,
for their
well,
stuff.
it's just like he just like out loud before shoot says McClunky. And I was like,
I can't wait for
love
that
it.
original version to come out. And
I hope it's still-
everyone's going to be like, look, I could finally die in peace. It shows Han shot first, which everyone will not shut the fuck up
Well,
about.
let's be real. He changed it.
He
And
did.
it looks terrible.
And him saying it
His-
doesn't.
His neck goes. It's like, what
It's
are we
a clear
doing?
cut. And I'm like, dude, why are you? He's like, I don't want him to show. That's shows me a little bit into inside of Lucas.
He's the rogue.
I don't
He's
understand. Like,
supposed to kill people.
I feel like that's why Lucas is a little bit full of himself once he got the popularity. He didn't learn to come back down to reality, because I'm like, dude, why are you trying to do this? And then,
Like
And
fix it. You mean?
yeah, like because they were trying to say like he wouldn't do that. It's too cold blooded. It's like, no, it's fine.
and he just
You have Luke, who's never killed
He-
a person in his life, shooting people and not even flinching about it.
he just
Hell
he just
yeah.
had the thought afterwards, and he's like, well, I can fix things now.
No,
Just like when anybody says like he had all 3 movies planned out, I'm like, he did not.
No, he did not.
yeah, well, Luke may not have killed people, but he was killing a lot of innocent creatures on
That
his
is true.
planet.
Yeah, for real. But-
He's just an asshole teenager.
It's just wild to me that he'd want to change Han shooting first to make him like a better guy when it's like his character arc through this movie
He doesn't have to be.
is that he becomes a good guy
Yeah.
and is there to save at the end.
He literally
So
is
it's-
in the rebellion in the second one. I don't understand
It's
it.
okay that he killed some guy that was about to kill him.
Yeah,
Nobody cares. I
And
don't understand.
especially everyone in the bar. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, he was like a devil may care type of character, and now he like has friends and a family, and it's just like it's the point of his character that he wrote in 1976 or 7, and he just forgot after he made other bad movies.
It's just no one told him no, and he always thought his ideas were good.
All right, y'all ready? We're almost an hour in, so we better start.
Yes, we should.
All right, do the text scroll.
All right. Lucasfilm, a Lucas joint. Because Spike Lee calls his movies a Spike Lee joints.
Oh,
It's a Lucas
so it was
joint.
like a Lucas joint. Like
So
how
if you-
high you getting?
If you just add like
Yeah, really.
a joint to like after someone's a white guy,
Like-
like a short little big white guy, it's just funny to me. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So-
let's do some salad.
Amid a galactic civil war, Rebel Alliance is operating from a hidden base and have been securing victories against the evil Galactic Empire. Rebel Alliance spies have stolen plans to the Death Star. I'm sure they won't make a movie about it. A colossal armored space station built by the tyrannical Galactic Empire that is capable of destroying entire planets. Imperial Senator Leia Organa, Carrie Fisher, of Alderaan, secretly a rebel leader, has obtained the schematics and is rushing home to the rebels' secret base. The plans can save the people and restore freedom to the galaxy.
Nice.
Pretty simple.
You know that original scroll was 6 paragraphs long.
Was it?
Golly. You
That'd
sit
be
there and say, I
ridiculous.
bet they won't make a movie about it. Out of all the standalones, that's the best one.
I want to see the part where Leah's on the Death Star trying to get the plans, like dressed like in her gold bikini
Yeah.
or whatever. Just like,
Hey, boys.
hey, I wonder what the inside of the ship looks like.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Carrie Fisher, attractive?
Yes.
No.
I mean, not now. She's
No.
dead.
Just like Luke's parents.
In a Star Wars movie, she is, yeah.
I don't know.
She
Like
was pretty.
when I watched Return of the Jedi, I never was like, oh, it didn't trigger the I want to be a man now. It never triggered that. I never thought she was attractive.
Swing.
Honestly, put some clothes on.
Also, when it comes to Leia, people in this movie call her Leah and Leia.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Well, I mean, it's first movie.
It's like, which is it?
Can you imagine?
Get it fucking right, George.
Because like I don't know much about like the sci-fi world pre-Star Wars
Mhm.
and what was on. Like, you got Space Odyssey and everything. Coming up and seeing a Star Destroyer, that's just laying it out of like, because like think about like what would you see previously for sci-fi movies? Either you don't see the ship on the outside and you're just seeing the internals. This is establishing so much, like in one go. If you look at what this influences and what comes up later, because if you think previously. I don't know what it looked like, what previous like space stuff. It was like round UFOs. I feel like he set a standard of like, let's explore what we can imagine as space vehicles like on the outside.
Yeah.
Space battles.
Yeah, and it's made so much of an impact. Have you seen the spaceship that Katy Perry went in a few days ago? Looks like a penis.
Does it?
Well, it's Jeff Bezos' wife.
Well, most rockets do look like
And they're
penises.
wondering, why are we getting so much crap for flying into space, guys? What's
Space
the big
penis. Yep.
It's like, I don't know, because you're letting millionaires spend $50 million
deal?
to
Expect
go
us to be like,
through.
yeah, that's so cool. I
11
don't give
minutes.
a fuck.
Though, you know what would actually be cool if you sent like, you know, like our up and coming scientists to inspire them to be more scientific and like see a cool journey.
If
Instead,
Katy
it's
Perry
just,
went up to space, we're definitely getting more porn soon.
It's just-
in space.
it's just like
Yay.
some pop stars and just like rich people that it's just like, cool, I'm glad for you. Don't put it in my Facebook feed anymore. But anyways, so Leia's ship is intercepted and boarded by an Imperial Star Destroyer under the command of the ruthless Darth Vader. James Earl Jones voices. Love the big ship. Also, when we first see Darth Vader, something I like about this, just to show that it's kind of like a low budget, like, you know, like bootstrap type of movie. Like the mask is like a lot like Darth Vader's not shiny.
No, it's all like
His
matte.
mask is kind of like it's got some like
Texture.
specs and texture to it. Versus when you go back and immediately, whenever I watch A New Hope and you go straight to Empire Strikes Back, Bro, Darth Vader looking slick, boy.
Yep.
I bet he's got like a bunch of like how Batman has a bunch of suits. Maybe he's got a different
That'd be
helmet
cool.
he puts on.
I'd love to see him just put like a green one on. It's like, so what do you think?
It is St. Patrick's Day. No pinching.
I love this
Vader
guy.
going around doing force pinching.
Yeah.
What about? Have you ever seen? I don't know if you've seen it. Vader's original voice before Earl Jones.
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's
It's like a British. It's a British guy.
and he's like, "I want the Imperial Commander and all
Oh,
this right
that's
away."
terrible.
He's like, "Oi, governor."
It's way different, and
That's
like
incredible.
bringing in James Earl Jones, the goat.
Yeah. Just
Like-
the damn guy's got a voice.
It changes. It's just those little things you think about. It's like, if it didn't go this, if this didn't have, this is one of those movies of just influence
hmm
and what it could have changed. Because
Yeah.
I feel like with this movie is the only reason we got that Dune sequel to, or
Mhm.
original Dune.
Yeah. So it's great. The Empire ships all carry like heavily armored stormtroopers. This is actually one of the few movies where stormtroopers can actually hit things, which is fun.
Nice.
Just never the actual heroes. Because like at the beginning, they wipe out the crew that's trying to like stop them from getting to Princess
Yeah,
Leia.
they've got plot armor.
Yeah.
Well, they also mentioned like later, like, you know, when they say we have tracking on them, that's why they didn't hit them, because they were letting them get away because they wanted to see where they would lead to the rebel
Mm.
base.
But
That doesn't explain them through the rest of the series, but in
Yeah.
this one, you can say, "Oh, that makes sense. I could see connecting the dots here."
Sure.
But we have like Leia's going to be taken prisoner. But before the capture, Leia inserts the plans in her R2D2 droid, along with a message. I can't wait to see what that message is. I'm sure we won't see it through the course of a bunch of movies. The droids R2D2 and the whiny ass bitch C3PO escape with the plans on an escape pod, crashing on a nearby planet of Tatooine. Just love that like R2D2 is like, just ignore C3PO, and I love it. He's just like, oh, whatever. I just got to do my mission, C3PO. I'm going to try to stop you at every single chance. He's like, I'm not going to go in there. And then like they eventually
He's the
go.
voice of
There you
reason.
go. Yeah, well, he's never
Too much reason.
He's never right. And Darth Vader's going to send his stormtroopers. But just like the reveal of like, there's all the smoke in the room, and then Darth Vader walks out, and he's, sorry, just smoked a fatty.
Man, we're gonna take your shit,
then, yeah,
bro.
You hear his voice, and you're just like, oh, this is immediately a great villain.
And then he
It's
also
cinematic
like
history.
like his own people. He picks them up and says, like, "You failed me," and whoop,
Yeah.
tosses them.
And it's also really great how like spunky Leia is, and just like, fuck off, dude. I ain't talking to you. It's great.
And you know
wonderful.
why she has that spunk? It's because she met Obi-Wan
Yeah.
when she was a child.
Well,
Oh,
Luke
Obi-Wan
Harrison and
No,
Carrie
I've seen
Fisher, you know, like during the set of this, they're all just doing cocaine and having sex. So
hell yeah, dude.
they all had plenty of spunk in them.
That photo still pops up with her hand on there and her longer little
Mhm.
pinky. I'm like, can we stop?
Fuck yeah.
No, it's great, dude.
Love
drugs.
that shit.
Drugs are fun.
Cocaine?
Well, just the idea of people like I never knew that.
Well,
But that's amazing.
yeah.
Bro,
We got to
it's-
do this parsec in 12 castle runs or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Parsecs.
So, I love this because R2D2 wants to go one way. C3PO is being a little bitch and doesn't. He's like, fine, I'll leave you to die. See ya, R2D2.
I love that person. And I'm like, man, 3PO, you move less. Like, you were more bipedal. And you feel like you can move less than the fucking roller
Yeah.
droid.
I can't go where there's rocks. It's like,
So
why?
stiff.
You got legs. But if he falls over, he can't
Huge
really get
golden
up.
rod up his ass.
Yeah. And then C3PO does his best Green Day impersonation from American Idiot. He walks alone. It was a good joke whenever I was at 8 in the morning. It was funny.
Hell
I
yeah,
love
dude.
his joke of just like, that fool, he tricked me to go this way.
Yeah. You got the giant alien or the giant snake skeleton. It's really good.
I think it's because when they go to Mos Eisley, you see those big old things that throws the Jawas off.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like one of those.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe.
don't
I
know.
like to think it's a flying dragon.
Hell yeah, it is.
He sees something in the distance and he thinks it's help. Then R2D2, we see him that he's like just like beep booping around. He's like, and then we see the Jawas for the first
bing,
time.
boom, bam.
That's where Kendrick got it.
Want the kind of shit you
And then the
understand.
Jawas just electrocute him, and he like falls over, and it's fucking hilarious.
Did
It's
I ever
great.
send that video of Van Damme as R2D2?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
It's
Yeah.
basically him from
It's
Bloodsport.
amazing. That's the version I want to see.
We need to do Bloodsword. So they're stuck on the ship. I love the ship. It's just like all ratty looking, and it's
Mhm.
great. It looks like it's looks better than any movie. It'd just all be CGI now.
What I don't understand is how they cannot, like, it's right there. What is it they can't seem to emulate the same effect of looking dirty? It's like you can tell it feels like it's real, but I don't understand it. It's just, is this the difference of like two people who make do with what they got versus like we have the money, just do what you can. Like it doesn't matter.
It's just easier and more cost effective to do CGI now, just because the technology's gotten better. It's just easier for them. But I mean, like in the sequels, I mean, like they do a good job with that, but that's because they had pretty much unlimited money.
Yeah.
R2 finds C-3PO, but first we see the one and only Gonk droid, baby. Gonk, 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 gonk. So good, dude. Lucas was like, what if we had a robot that said gonk? And someone was like, ladies and gentlemen.
Doesn't in Bad Batch, there's a gonk droid in there, isn't there?
Probably.
I think on their ship, there's one that's like gonk who does stuff for them.
I'm going to look up what
You think they're just
episode
doing
that
lines
is.
of
He's
coke?
like through the whole thing.
They're like, we need ideas for robots. Go. Trash can. Sweet. Put legs on it.
Wait, hold on. Carrie Fisher, bring me your pinky now.
We can't get through this lock. Someone forgot their keys. I got you, honey.
And then we see the stormtroopers looking for the droids. This is where we get our first reveal of bad CGI
That was
forced into a
unnecessary.
movie.
Why?
One of my favorite bits from Spaceballs is when you have like there's like, oh, we got the people, they're combing through the desert, and then it's just like you got a bunch of black people and they have like a giant afro. It's like, did you find anything? We can't find shit. It's so funny
Because he does randomly find, look, droid Sarah's like, you're in the middle of this
Yeah, I know,
fucking
it's
desert
like-
planet. What the fuck are
It's
you
like
talking about?
I guess there was no wind that day.
I just made a connection. They find that one little piece of droid stuff.
The little condom thing.
Yeah.
And then when they capture the Millennium Falcon, they can't find them on the ship. Whatever team they had in that desert needs a promotion for ship
Like,
checks.
I'm sure this ship doesn't have a bottom floor.
It just shows their confidence. Like, there ain't nobody here. It's like, yeah, my back hurts. I don't want to bend over. You know how hard it is to bend over in this stuff?
Yeah.
Get all plasticky sounding.
So then we see the Jawas. They're selling the droids to the moisture farmers, Owen, Peru, and their nephew Luke. We see like a bunch of different shots of Jawas for the beginning of the movie. They're constantly different sizes.
Yes,
I don't know if you
which
know.
is fine.
Like when you see them with R2, they're really tiny. When they're with like Owen and all them, it's like, oh, these are taller people, obviously. So I'm like, what happened on the set? They couldn't get the smaller people anymore? Yeah. So Owen needed droids who understand the binary language of moisture evaporators. While C-3PO is a protocol droid, he is trained in the language of load filters, which is very similar to evaporators.
And Sith language.
He's
And
like, yeah, I'll take you too, nerd.
he can also speak Bocce.
Never comes up later.
Bocce, something
Bocce.
like that.
Bocce ball?
Bocce ball. C-3PO convinces Luke to take R2-D2 as well. Not really C-3PO convincing him. It's just red trash can boy blew up.
Yeah. R5.
And I love that there's a theory that R2 is actually the one that made that droid, like convinced that droid to blow up for the greater good. And it's like,
I was just making a joke in my head about that.
and it's just like, hey guys, who cares?
He's over there like whispering in its ear, like, hey, go fucking kill yourself.
Yeah.
Suicide for the
Well,
greater good.
Such a piece of
R2-D2
shit.
is so canceled.
R2-D2 has killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a straight G. So Owen asks Luke to clean up both the droids before dinner. While Luke is cleaning R2-D2 and complaining about wanting to leave Tatooine, he discovers a recording of Leia requesting help from a former ally named Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't think I know anybody by that name. Do you think it could be Ben Kenobi? I don't know, man. Has the same last name. There's-
Old Ben.
Can't be a lot of Kenobis out here on this desert planet.
Doesn't. Oh, never mind.
It's
I
just
don't
like-
even know the Obi-Wan show.
It's like, obviously, that's probably because, I've watched this movie
Yeah.
over the course of 30 years a lot. And it's like, yeah, obviously it's the
Yes,
guy named Ben
it's
Kenobi.
literally the same thing.
But Luke is interested in the rebellion and wants to learn more about it. R2-D2 says that the message is a private one for Obi-Wan and that R2-D2 is his property. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Great, right?
Mhm.
I mean, damn, just so simple.
Mm.
Just so simple.
It's one thing's
I
going
love
back and
it.
watching this is seeing Mark
wish-
Hamill's face
I wish Luke was-
pre-crash.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
Because in the second one, he gets attacked by that Wampa, and his face is all fucked up,
Yeah.
and he
He was
heals.
in a car
Well,
crash.
he was in a car crash, and when they did the surgery, they did not do a good job of because he broke his face.
Damn.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. The plastic surgeon didn't.
It's also
or-
why it sounds kind of different too.
Yeah, like his whole face is like if you watch this one, then go to Empire, you're like, oh, you see the difference in like where
Yeah.
his
It's pretty fucked up.
like they
I never knew he was in a crash though.
yeah, that's what caused it. And I was like, man, I always say things like, what happened if his face didn't get messed up? Could he? Because he's kind of attractive. I feel like he could have maybe had a little more roles compared to because Harrison Ford still had the looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was doing cocaine in 1977, I might.
He
I
was
let him enter.
he crashed in an auto driving Tesla.
Yeah.
Still gotta say, like, as much as his career didn't have much after Star Wars, is
You're
I
talking about
think-
he had the Joker, bro. He's
I
been
was
playing
about
the
to bring
Joker
up-
for like 20 more years.
yeah, that's a voice acting role. I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
I
not what
know.
he wanted.
Yeah.
Because Harrison Ford was the only one who still got roles.
He's in Dogma.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, I think he's in Dogma, yeah. But yeah, so Obi-Wan lives on Tatooine, we find out. Luke knows of Ben Kenobi, great, an old hermit who lives beyond the Dune Sea. I wonder if it could be him. Luke is called for dinner. I love this because like R2's like, beep, boop, bop, boop. C-3PO is just like, just you reconsider playing that message for him. R2, beep, boop, bop, boop, boop. C-3PO, no, I don't think he likes you at all. Boop, boop, boop. C-3PO,
I don't like you either.
no, I don't like you either. It's like, dude, C-3PO.
I know.
You're a
He's like,
fucking
"Oh."
robot. What do you want to be doing right now? So Luke, who hopes to leave home for training at a nearby Imperial military academy to become a space pilot, if he probably did that, he'd probably become a bad guy.
Hell yeah.
Leaves the room angrily to return to cleaning the droids because Owen says he has to help with the harvest. And can't leave. I put can't leave.
Oh, sorry, just made a connection there. Sorry,
Okay.
I mean, you're up.
the girl
when
in
you talk-
space pot.
When you talked about him going to join the military thing, it would have made him a bad guy. I was like, oh, well, when the military kills his people, his family, that's
Mhm.
when he becomes the rebel. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
connections.
Yeah. So Luke's aunt, Peru, tells Owen that Luke is too much like his father to remain with him, but Owen holds out hope that Luke's desire for adventure will subside and express a fear that Luke is too much like his father, suggesting that Owen may know something about Anakin's terrible past. And then Luke goes to look out at the two suns, and it's beautiful, and the score rolls, and fuck yeah.
We also talk
Yeah.
about how when Obi-Wan hands Luke the lightsaber, he looks literally right down. It's like handing someone a gun, looking right down the barrel. I always love the edits. There's one where he turns it on, and it's like it ends, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
So it's like the next day, R2-D2 is missing. Luke tells 3PO that it's too late to look for R2 because, it's the same day. Whoops. R2 because of the dangerous sand people, they call them in the movie, but we'll call them Tusken Raiders.
Don't want to get canceled.
In the area. And they will set out first thing in the morning to go look for him. Luke and 3PO go on Luke's land speeder, which looks fucking rad in that shot. I'm like, man, it looks so good.
It was funny because I know how they did it to get that shot with the land speeder.
Yeah, I think I used to.
It's a mirror on it, so because they
yeah.
couldn't hide the
Oh,
wheels.
cool.
And I watching it, and I was like, I actually can kind of see the mirror
Yeah.
now, but it's still so good.
That's
See,
cool.
and it's just like shit like that. It's like, oh, no wonder I grew up liking movies.
Well, we
'Cause
don't
I'll-
get that end of like quick because we don't get to make we don't get people who can just try and make a movie anymore because they're so costly. We don't
Well, they're
get
all
to,
on YouTube, and they're
Yeah.
just bad.
but they don't get that chance of like doing something because you get to work with a lot of people. When it's YouTube, it's a lot less people, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't get that like spur of the moment of like we've got a team together here to try and make this movie. Like,
You know who we have now? A24.
yeah, but
They're the ones that like it's always like a brand new director doing a horror movie, and it's like, oh, thank God. This is awesome.
yeah, but they're not all
Like Talk to Me, like they were YouTubers. They're doing the Backrooms
Cool.
movie, or I don't know if they're doing it anymore, and they're gonna have like the kid
did hear
who
about that.
invented the Backrooms.
That wasn't like
bit.
an amazing movie, but yeah, like I guess you're right. That was a good movie still.
Yeah. Like think of The Witch. That was that guy's first movie. Ari Aster,
So this is what
Hereditary.
Netflix
Fuck
should
yeah.
be doing with their amount of money. They're like, everybody who makes shitty movies.
We have to have Electric State.
I still haven't seen
Me neither, but I saw it and I was like,
Yeah.
I remember when I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this is the Russos. I wonder what their budget is. I'm like,
That was a
oh.
Russo movie?
Yeah, I think so,
Oh my
right?
god.
And it's like a huge budget. I'm like,
no,
oh,
it's not.
looks like poop. Yeah, so they catch up to R2-D2. R2-D2 is adamant that it needs to get to Obi-Wan. Luke is attacked by Tusken Raiders. He is, but then he gets rescued by Obi-Wan, the hermit, by emitting a weird yell. Like,
I put that down as a note. I was like,
That was his
oh,
quirk. His
I
Jedi
never
quirk.
realized he was screaming.
He just like walks up. Sorry, I had a burrito earlier.
I put
That's
extra
how-
jalapenos
That's
on
how Jedi's fart.
I
So-
still love the Family Guy one. He's like, it was like a chorus. It's like, oh, they all scared him away. It's like, don't worry, they'll be back in greater numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, it was gonna be a great
Man,
show.
I did think about while watching this.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that Family
The
Guy.
limp lightsaber.
Yeah, so good.
And then when he sees
Jesse.
Luke, it goes.
That's my boy right there.
Oh God, I own those still. I think they're up there behind the Mission Impossible thing.
Oh, you know what my kids said? I asked them to watch this movie with me. I turned it on. They said, "Oh, is that Lego Star Wars?" I said no, and they're like, "Oh, this looks stupid." Okay, see you.
Hell
So
yeah!
two things.
Way
One,
to go, kids.
you already failed by not having them brainwashed
You
watching
hit
them when
'em,
they're
right?
young. And another, why did you not hit them after this hit that? Oh, that would explain the
can't
ball
just-
situation.
You're
a
the
little
one
bit.
that popped the girl's ball. So
it was just out of hate and anger. I
yeah.
couldn't help myself. It's just like an Attack of the Clones.
So Luke addresses him as Ben and says that the droid has been looking for Obi-Wan. Ben said, I don't know why I started talking like that. Ben says that he is Obi-Wan, but hasn't been addressed as that in a long time. No one's called me that in a long time. I'm Alec
I
Guinness.
love how like all that stuff that happened to like Luke gets knocked out, 3PO got his shit fucked up. I was like, well,
His
I
arm
could
ripped off.
probably see why he doesn't like big
Dude.
adventures. He's like, I get screwed over
No,
every time.
I love this next bit because they're gonna go with him, and he's like, "Oh, where's the 3PO?" And they go get him. He's like, "Just leave me. I can't keep going." It's like you're missing one arm.
Yeah.
He was probably
Well, no,
missing
he-
a lower half.
But it's just so funny. He's like, "I'll never make it." And it's like, dude, you're a robot. They can just carry you. This
Well, it
is
was funny
so
'cause,
dramatic.
like,
It's like you don't
that
feel pain,
cutaway
bro.
when they pick him up and
Mhm.
it transitions. Like, that was kind of good, just so you didn't have to show his naked body. But
Yeah.
really,
It's like, go on without me. I'm done for now. Oh, it's just, I love how dramatic he is.
Yeah, I do too.
So Obi-Wan tells Luke about his past as one of the Jedi Knights, former peacekeepers of the Galactic Republic for over 1,000 generations, who drew mystical abilities from the Force, but were hunted to near extinction by the Empire, and because they completely forgot how to block blasters for some reason. Obi-Wan explains that a Jedi receives his power from the Force, an energy field that is created by all living beings that surround us, penetrates us, and binds us to the galaxy.
I like
together.
Wi-Fi.
But
that's
there,
5G.
but there is also a dark side of the Force, which draws power from negative emotions and baser pulses, and has cookies.
Oh,
Luke
Nice.
learns that his father, also a Jedi, fought alongside Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars until Vader, Obi-Wan's former pupil, turned the dark side of the Force and murdered him.
Man, I wish we got a story about that.
Boom. I know. Ugh. And I bet, guarantee you, Darth Vader's not a Force baby in that one. I just guarantee
Have
it.
you ever
That would-
watched,
That would be insane if that was real.
There's some person, I mean, there's a million on YouTube, but his was like a lot. He goes back and rewrites the trilogies and goes through, like, talks the whole movie out of what he would do different. And I did that one day with, like, Revenge of the Sith. Some things I didn't like, but I think you would probably appreciate them a lot more in what he did
Mhm.
because he's someone who's a fan, but not the fanboy.
Wait, who was this?
Some YouTuber. I don't remember
Oh.
his name. I'd have to find it again. I watched it years ago, but I really liked what he had done.
Did you ever hear about Topher Grace's recut of the prequels?
I heard about it. I never got around to like downloading and watching them.
Yeah, me neither. If you ever download it, give me a
File.
yeah. So then yeah, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, then they're still talking about Darth Vader. Then he became the Dark Lord of the Sith, the most feared enforcer of the Emperor. In this capacity, he proceeded to hunt down his former comrades, and the Jedi Order is now all but extinct.
I will say of all
Not-
the stuff. Yeah.
There'll be 5 more movies. Don't worry, baby.
Is the stuff that's like after Disney bought it. Some of the things that they've done right is the Vader comic because there's this line in it where he's surrounded like in a canyon by like 30 people. They said, "We have you surrounded. Drop your weapon now." And his quote is he literally in the comic strip is, "No, all I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men." And
Hell
lights up his
yeah,
lightsaber. It's like,
dude.
oh my god, why? I was like, whoever does these comics knows Vader. Obviously, why are they not helping with movies?
Yeah.
That's badass. In the Jedi video game, I can't remember what it's called, but like they And when Darth Vader shows up at the end, everybody's like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, that's
Last Survivor, Jedi Last
Yes,
Survivor.
yeah.
No, it's like Jedi. Yeah,
that was the
whatever.
one before the.
It's the first one of
Jedi. Whatever.
Yeah, the first one of the Souls-like
that
version.
was badass.
Yeah.
Cal
Where
Kestis.
you're,
That was
you're
actually.
running from the whole the end of the game. Yeah, that's
And
pretty
he's
great.
just tearing the world
I
apart.
love that.
Yeah.
That. We never get that because there was the one that Force Unleashed. Love
Mhm.
those ones. Well, I like the first one.
Yeah,
I
they
never
were
played
fun.
them. I need to play them.
Well, you just need to play the first one. The second one. I have. Later.
Yeah. Okay. So Luke had been told by his uncle that his father, Anakin, was a navigator on a spice freighter. Oh, that would have been such a nice job back in the day,
Spice?
Dude.
though. Obi-Wan offers Luke his father's old lightsaber, an energy sword, the signature weapon of the Jedi, and it fucking rules. Even in the first one, it rules.
One thing.
Even though that was the nice thing that they did when they went back and like made some adjustments, they did make the lightsabers look way better.
That's cool.
Because they were just like, they barely had color and they looked kind of bad in the
Mhm.
original.
Interesting.
So it's nice that he
So-
did some good things good right.
Did you
some things
notice
right.
that when he's using it, his eyes have that reflection in it?
Oh, really?
I'm wondering if, because I was like, that looks very genuine. I don't know if it's because it's so far away, but because they're just batons. I'm like, how do they do that? One thing I really like about, which is interesting to say, is that Star Wars with doing just the batons and then adding the CGI later, I prefer that more than what they do now, which is like they have prop lightsabers that are generating real light, but it just doesn't look as good because you can tell it's like that's a toy that you're using. That's why.
Really? I thought the sequel ones looked really good.
Well, it was very noticeable in the Obi-Wan show between Anakin and dude. That I was looking at like it's like all of that lighting that they're using real lightsabers now. I'm like, I don't like either. They need to correct it more. I don't like it. Now the sequels were fine because the sequels I think weren't using the real lightsabers now. They are now more in the spin-off crowd.
Yeah. Hey, Disney, if you're going to make TV shows, make them actually entertaining through every episode. And if you can't make 6 good episodes, just make like 1 or 2 good episodes, please. God, I'm so sick of Disney's crappy, shitty 6 miniseries.
You
And
had
they're all
it
bad.
so good with Mandalorian first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then you fucked up with Boba Fett.
Like,
You
what's
fucked up hard. I still cannot forget about that Obi-Wan scene where he's hiding Leia under his cloak. I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad.
I feel so bad for that little
She's
girl.
like, this really stinks.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
God, that's another thing. Stop. This is another toxic thing with fanboy. They're just fucking actors. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't like Rose, Jesus fucking Christ, get the hell over it.
Yeah. So, all right, R2-D2 plays Leia's full message in which she begs Obi-Wan to take the Death Star plans to Alderaan and give them to her father, a fellow veteran, for analysis. Jimmy Smits, baby. Jimmy Smits. That's who.
Help me,
that's her.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
That's who takes her.
Just like and subscribe.
Bail Organa. That's Jimmy Smits. He's in like
Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter. Yeah,
Miguel!
love that actor.
did you.
And I love that. So we've seen the hologram a couple times. The way that Mark Hamill's really good in those scenes whenever he first sees Leia, because like there's just such a sense of wonder on his face, and he's just like, is there anything else that hologram does, or like, I don't know.
He's like, gosh,
Well,
she's
I
so
think he's
hot.
been
I
on that
wish she was
farm
my
and like,
sister.
yeah,
even though you know the text there,
it's the adventure. It's
Mhm.
come to him, and he knows he can go on it, but he's like, damn, Uncle Owen, I hope he's not a skeleton at the
There's
end.
a space babe out
Yeah.
there with my
with
name
no
on
bra.
Yeah. So Luke initially declines Obi-Wan's offer to accompany him to Alderaan and learn the ways of the Force. Meanwhile, aboard the Death Star, Commander Grand Moff Tarkin, who that actor was in like a lot of horror movies.
Can
back
we
in the day.
talk about how his face is shaped perfectly like an alien?
That's why he was in a lot of horror movies before this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Guy looks like a vampire. It's great.
That's exactly what I thought.
And he also kind of almost looks like the zombie in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he
it's funny.
does.
So Grand Moff Tarkin tells his commanders that the Emperor has dissolved the Imperial Senate permanently, and with all the remnants of the old Republic, regional governors now have direct control over the territories. The Empire plans to use the Death Star to breed fear in the galaxy, but are afraid that the rebels might find a weakness in its defense and exploit it. One of the commanders disses the Force in front of Vader, and he Force chokes the hell out of him.
Yeah, that was sweet. But then the other guy was like, hey, let him go. Darth Vader, I feel like he would have been like, just immediately turned around and blew his head off
Yeah.
or
Not
something.
for Tarkin because there's a lot of like, he respects Tarkin.
Vader has no control.
Yeah,
That was the
fucking-
thing.
You tell Vader to stop doing something, I feel like he's gonna kill
He
him.
would have got a spanking
Well,
from the
Tarkin
Emperor.
had a really close relationship with Palpatine, and since he became a little bitch, that he does listen to him because he still follows orders because this is just what he does.
All right.
Jason, I find your lack of faith disturbing. I couldn't remember like a 5-word sentence. That's
Find your
ridiculous.
lack of faith.
I just literally, I find your lack. Well, what's the rest of it? Luke and Obi-Wan find some charred Jawas and then races home to check on his fam. He is left with no choice to join Obi-Wan after Imperial stormtroopers murder his family while searching for the droids. It's some dead as fuck skeletons.
This
Do
is
you
like-
think?
Fuck yeah.
Also, Luke could have been a little sadder about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, he wanted to leave.
He's way sadder when Obi-Wan dies. He's like,
Oh yeah.
yo, these people just took care of you from a baby as a baby. And you're just like,
Everyone talks about that.
you're just like, damn.
Well,
What's Obi-Wan up to?
guess I'm freed up this
Yeah,
afternoon.
it's like,
well,
you got any?
also one thing
anything
that
to
sucks
do?
is that you can no longer enjoy marshmallows
That's true.
Marshmallows.
because you crisp them up.
Yeah, Chris.
He gets flashbacks. Hey, Peru, I'm glowing.
Let's be, also, fucking rules how charred they are. That's
Yeah.
sick, bro. Like, hell yeah. Show me more of that in Star Wars. So, Darth Vader is given the task to locate the Rebel fortress before the Death Star is operational. Darth Vader starts to interrogate Leia regarding the location of the Rebel base. Obi-Wan says, fuck your fam, let's party.
Yeah, dude.
Seeking a way off the planet, Luke and Obi-Wan travel to the spaceport of Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley Spaceport. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
And we will be here for the next 40 years.
They fly in, and a ton of shitty CGI creatures are around. It's
Yeah,
so
they're fun.
Ugh.
it's like just add the buildings if you got to add something. We don't need lizards everywhere getting in the
well,
way of the camera.
I hated it. I was like, are we
That was
transitioning
dumb.
away? I don't.
It's crazy. It's literally blocking some shots.
I'm hoping when they release that one, it's like the original.
You know,
Someone gets
I bet we
recording of
watch.
it.
I bet we re. I actually. I had a friend that had the very original
Mhm.
VHSs, so I got to watch it. That's why I was like, I swear that Jabba scene's in
Yeah,
there,
they had
but maybe it's not.
Shit over the
Um,
years.
I will say, like, I mean, there are some small additions that would have worked, but man, this stuff doesn't. It builds out the city, but it's like, no, Mos Eisley just doesn't have anything. We're a desert planet. It doesn't have to be bustling.
I kind of liked it. I liked all the bustling stuff. It shows that it's like a lived-in place. Do you think, like, after he does the Jedi mind trick on the stormtrooper, do you think after they left, all the other ones was just looking at him like, dude, what the fuck was
Yeah,
that?
it's like-
he's obviously the
It's like,
George.
dude, I thought we were just playing a bit on him. We were all about to shoot him. I guess he did them all.
So I just looked it up. There's literally 4 different versions of that Jabba scene.
Hell
So
yeah.
there's one where he's talking to a hologram, then CG, then
Where's
there's one where he's
CG?
just talking to a guy.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
See, I still don't remember that scene with that guy.
I feel like that's the one I saw in the movie. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, but anyways, Obi-Wan uses the Force to hypnotize Imperial stormtroopers and provide safe passage through the city. Stormtrooper, let me see your identification. Obi-Wan, you don't need to see the identification. Stormtrooper, we don't need to see your identification. Thinking Obi, these aren't the droids you're looking for. These aren't the droids we're looking for. He can go about his business. You can go about your business.
The
Move
penis
along.
is a snake.
Move along. You're eating worms. So they reach a tavern, which is frequented by several space fighter pilots who would be willing to transport anything for the right fee. We get to see the beauty of Star Wars finally with the creatures and the dope ass song. This, when they go around and they just show all like the gross little
Yeah.
guys
That was fun.
and the fucking devils there.
Yeah, man.
It's great. This is why I like Star Wars.
There's even a guy that looks like a NASA astronaut,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hanging out.
He's just like, I don't know where I am, but I'm fucking digging it.
Yeah,
This
and
place rules.
I like how unfancy this place looks.
Yes, it
Problem with-
feels real.
Problem with The Force Awakens when they go into the bar and it's supposed to be like, oh, it's like Mos Eisley, but you look around, I'm like, it doesn't feel
It's too clean.
grimy enough.
Well, you know why? Is because that's also a thing at the Disney Resort.
Yeah,
It was
that's
something.
the shit. I love that place.
I want to go. I
I
want to see my Star
I
Wars.
liked it. I went into the bar because you have to get like reservations to get into
Yeah,
the
we
bar.
did too.
That was
It was
fun.
so we did. Me and her were not. Me
It was
and my
very
girlfriend.
crowded.
We were not comfortable. We had to sit with people, and they were like trying to talk. And I was like, I'm already like at my limit for people because of this crowd. I don't want to talk.
I had already been drinking tequila most of the day.
Oh my god, how do you drink it in that heat?
You
He
open
is-
the bottle.
He is the heat. Ooh, we need to do heat.
Put it in your water bottle, carry it around with you. Sorry.
So Obi-Wan makes contact with a Wookiee named Chewbacca. You gonna do the noise?
Oh shit! You put me on the spot.
I just feel like you were gonna do it.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
just feel like you would be my.
Just let it come up later.
God,
Yeah,
I knew he could do it. I just knew it. There's something about Jason where I just like he can do Chewbacca, man. I can't. I have no idea how to do it.
I'm sure it ties back into his, like, we'll find out some random things. Yeah, back when I was in the military, I did this, and I ran into someone who's a Chewbacca.
So they did allow us to, when you write down what religion you are, you could put anything, and a lot of people would put Jedi just for shits and giggles, and I did that, and then they my third year in the military, they removed that. So you had to pick between the major religions.
Should have been like
I couldn't be a Jedi anymore.
Should have been like
There's like 10,000 of the major religions.
But there was only like 4 that you could pick from.
Which is what, Buddhist, Hindu.
But when you picked one, it made you a better soldier, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Good. See, that's why they did it. I
I
want you to
put-
kill in the name of something, please.
Flying spaghetti monster.
Hell yeah, dude.
So Luke gets pushed around by a bug and a pig face looking guy. He doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Yeah.
I love how he says, I'm sorry. I don't like you either.
They attack him and Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan makes quick work and hits him with his lightsaber and cuts off his hand. Hell yeah.
And the first time we think lightsabers don't cauterize.
Yeah.
And it leaves blood.
So they're going to hire Han Solo, baby!
Yes.
Harrison Ford. They're going to hire him for 10,000 credits, a smuggler indebted to a local mobster, Jabba the Hutt, for a passage to Alderaan. Luke knows that for that kind of money, they can buy their own ship. Han claims that his ship, the Millennium Falcon, made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs and can outrun Imperial starships. Obi-Wan offers to pay 2,000 credits up front and 15,000 credits upon arrival. They agree to meet and pay 94. Yeah, just he's immediately a movie star when you see him on screen.
Yes.
Hot as fuck.
Yeah. He used to be a carpenter as well.
Han.
Ooh, it works with his hand.
That's why he's Han.
And turns out he's not a good pilot in real life. Can't stop crashing
yeah.
planes.
Yeah.
Did he do that?
Yeah, he's like crashed like a plane like 3 different
Or a
times.
helicopter. Yeah, he was a helicopter pilot, wasn't he?
Oh, he has like a little, those small little planes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why
Cessna?
does this make you feel better?
Yeah, no,
Me
I knew
doing the little
exactly
hand
what you were
movement.
talking about.
So Han hangs back to take care of their bar tab and is stopped by Greedo, a bounty hunter working for feared crime lord Jabba, a.k.a. Jabba the Hutt. I didn't say his actual name. Didn't need to say that, a.k.a.
The Hutts.
Apparently, Jabba had hired Han to transport a shipment of like glitter stem spice or whatever,
Yeah.
but Han had to dump the shipment due to unexpected Imperial boarding. As Greedo points a blaster at Solo, Han insists that he has the 8,000 credits he needs to cover for the loss. Greedo suggests that Solo give it to him as a bribe not to turn him over to Jabba, forcing Han to admit that he's doesn't actually have any money yet. Solo quietly removes his heavy pistol under the table and preemptively fires and kills him. McClunky! On his way out, Han throws the bartender a few coins, apologizes for the mess because he's a badass.
Yeah.
And we all agree Han shot first.
Fucking better.
McClunky, dude.
So
do you
was
not like
that
these movies?
Was that was it a caption that came up when he said
No,
that?
he says McClunky out loud.
I could not hear it.
Do you watch these movies, bro?
Do
That's
not
why you
get
have so
on me
many
right
bad
now.
opinions about
You
them.
can't remember anything. I could quote the
Leia
whole movie
resists
right
the
now.
mind probe.
The mind probe is just a droid coming in with
Yeah.
with a fucking
needle.
syringe.
It's like, hey, bitch, give me that brain.
Hold still.
So
I
Leia
can see him like,
resists.
stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Ooh, get this mosquito out.
Yeah.
So Leia resists the mind probe and gives nothing to Darth Vader, and he's like, I can't believe she could do that, bro. As the Death Star becomes operational, Moff turns it towards Alderaan, where Leia was headed in her diplomatic ship in the first place. At the docking bay, Han is confronted by Jabba the Hutt, and just a terrible looking scene.
Yeah. What makes me think that I do not remember this scene at all was because they repeat the same lines that he was just talking to Greedo about. Like Greedo's like, we don't need a ship,
But this is
ship
where we
commander.
first see like a Mandalorian in the background. This is what I thought that's like why I had a.
Oh,
Well,
see,
I
I
don't
didn't even
remember.
notice
that.
See, I don't remember Boba Fett in the first one at all. I remember him strictly being. So now I'm like, what's happening? What Mandela effect is happening to me?
Somebody look it up while I talk.
I do like how he stepped on his tail. That was fun.
That is
He's
funny.
like, ugh.
No, it looks god awful, guys. The
No,
physics.
it's just funny. It looks.
It was funny.
The physics looks terrible. He's like bloop 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 bloop. It's like, and then you got that terrible like. It's like just step over his tail.
And then he walks up the ship and he says, "You're a good human being, Jabba."
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a dig on Jabba?
I think it's supposed to be, but originally it was because it was a human being that he's talking to.
Oh.
So
But I feel like he keeps it in because it's like, oh, it's funny. Like I don't mind the line.
maybe it wasn't. I still can't tell.
You know what? This is actually a great moment. If you know if the human version was actually in the original because you can remember that far and you weren't a child. Okay, well, never mind. But still, leave us a comment.
It says Lucas cut the scene, but when preparing the special edition of the film in the 1990s, he inserted a CGI model into that sequence, completely obscuring Mulholland's performance. So that scene was filmed, but because it said right here, he felt like it didn't add to the plot. So it was originally not in there, I believe.
Cool. So why add it back? It doesn't.
Well, there's a lot he added in there we didn't.
Because everyone just wants more.
More. It could have been like 5 minutes, like less. So, Jabba expresses frustration over Greedo's death and reminds Han that he cannot spare who fell or cross him, lest he appears weak. Han insists that he will soon have enough money to pay off the debt, blah, 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 blah. Jabba, you're a wonderful human being. Yeah, he totally had all three planned. Because he called him a human being, so he obviously didn't. So Luke sells
You're
his
a wonderful slug man.
Yeah. So Luke sells his land speeder to raise money for their initial payment to Captain Solo. They head to the docking bay. Luke is worried to discover that the Falcon is a 60-year-old rundown freighter, but Han assures him that he has made extensive modifications to ensure that she can run rings around any modern capital ship, and it's the best spaceship in all of movies.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
I love seeing that when you go to
Sick as
Disney.
fuck.
And apparently I missed out because the ship lights up at night at Disney, but because most of we got there when they would open and spend all day. So it's like, okay, we can fuck out of here.
We were so tired. Yeah.
And same for the Avatar place. Apparently all lit up and look great.
Yeah, that
I'm
place is cool at night.
But I'm also like, I don't care about Avatar like this. I really
it is
don't.
cool as hell. Like, especially if you get stoned and go in there.
Well, I feel like you could easily repurpose the app. That's a good idea, actually. I feel like
That's how all Jason's stories is.
I mean,
well, I wasn't, but there were people smoking weed like right next to us.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like,
happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
You could easily convert the Avatar place into like Kashyyyk if they ever focused on that place.
But if you ever get caught smoking weed, you get banned forever. So you have to
damn.
be careful.
So just smoke it before you go in.
Yeah, so they're being pursued by stormtroopers who were informed by the local spies about the location of the droids. Luke, Obi-Wan, R2-D2, and C-3PO flee Tatooine with Han and his Wookiee co-pilot Chewbacca. Good job. On their ship, the Millennium Falcon. They are pursued by an Imperial cruiser. Han manages to jump to light speed before they can be caught. This is where the fun begins. Hope you enjoy hearing that because it's in all of them. A jump through hyperspace is dangerous, as with the wrong calculations, one could travel through a star or a supernova and end up dead. Great shot of I love when the shot of the Millennium Falcon's like leaving Tatooine and you get the shot behind the stormtroopers and they're just looking up and it's like, this was made in 77. Looks great.
And then they added CGI that looks worse than the stuff that's currently in there.
So good when it leaves. It's like it's because they filmed it like golden hour, so just everything looks amazing. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So before the Falcon reaches Alderaan, the Death Star commander Grand Moff Tarkin has the planet obliterated by the station's gigantic laser. Moff wants to demonstrate the power of the Death Star on Leia's home planet, even though she begs that Alderaan is peaceful and has no weapons. Moff would have spared the planet if Leia reveals the name of the rebel base. Leia does name Dantooine, but Moff destroys Alderaan regardless, as Dantooine is too far to make an effective demonstration.
Hell yeah.
I just want to keep going because I can't.
Anyways,
the planet blowing up. Fucking sick,
that's awesome,
brother.
It was cool. It looked like little cotton candies.
I feel like that set the stakes for a lot of movies because it's like, oh yeah, we destroyed a town, but they just blew up a fucking planet.
A whole
and George was like, everybody's like, I hope we keep making round bases. So Obi-Wan senses a disturbance in the Force. The moment Alderaan is destroyed, he's like, oh. So I thought I was having a heart attack. It was just the Force. It's okay. On their way, Obi-Wan starts training Luke on the use of the lightsaber. Chewbacca is about to lose a chess game to R2-D2. C-3PO is like, don't fucking win, R2.
Might want to try a different tactic.
And then like, Chewbacca. It's the last time, I promise.
Okay.
I just love that like Chewbacca like He just like leans back in his chair, like, yeah, I bet you fucking won't. It's great.
Yeah, suck my furry balls, robot.
Han does not believe in the Force. Obi-Wan demonstrates the existence of the Force when Luke is able to defeat a training bot with all the senses blocked, but by plugging it into the Force. Han, hokey religions and ancient weapons are not a good match for a blaster at your side. Are not a good match for a blaster at your sidekick. Luke, you don't believe in the Force, do you?
You
Han
just learned
Solo.
about it like 12 hours ago.
Kid, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe that there's one all-powerful force controlling everything. There's no mystical energy field that controls my destiny. Anyway, it's all about simple tricks and nonsense. Probably didn't have to do all that. But... Okay, Chewbacca, calm down.
Yeah, that was good.
The real
Snake.
question we need to know. Chewbacca, is it like a red rocket, like a dog?
I feel like it has to be.
Yeah.
I don't think they have penises.
Oh yeah.
They lay eggs.
So they're like platypuses. That would make sense.
I just thought it was weird whenever they all decided to start to shave down there. They're like- it's like after the 70s, they all just started shaving.
Because everyone got called Chewbacca bitch over here.
So Moff and Vader learn that Leia lied about the rebel bases. I love they're like, no way. What?
Yeah.
She lied?
So stupid. And Vader's like, yeah, you fucking idiots.
It's just so funny. They're like, we didn't think she could lie.
Because he was sitting here, he's like, okay, well, we're going to go to base. Go ahead and kill her. It's like no, dude, double check.
Did she not know that she was talking to men? Like, I'm so confused. Women aren't allowed to do that in space 70s. So now they're like, I'm going to kill her. See? Man, women had it rough in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago as well. So upon arrival, the Falcon is captured by the Death Star, which is the size of a small moon. They're like, is that a moon? No, that's a
I thought that might be
damn old
one of your
Death Star.
quotes.
What?
I was like, that's no moon.
That's no moon. And they're getting like tractor beamed in. Luke says, I have a very bad feeling about this. Won't hear that ever again. But there is like this great line by Obi-Wan. It's like, because they're like, we can't fight. And he's like, you can't win, but there are alternatives to fighting. And it's great because he's going to sacrifice himself later.
Oh,
And
shit.
it allows them to get away. Kind of like in
Nice.
Last Jedi. So the ship is identified as the same as the one that escaped. The
Get
Mos
outta here.
Eisley and Darth Vader believes that they were bringing the plans to the Death Star to Alderaan. He also feels something he hasn't felt in a long time, an erection.
Got
It's so
him.
funny because like he sits there, he's like, something I haven't felt. And I was like, you could have delayed a little bit longer. He's like,
Yeah.
I haven't felt. Immediate turn away.
Hey,
I've got to go put on different clothes.
he's a man of business.
Puts his trapper
I've
keeper in front
got
of
to
his
poop,
dick.
and you know what it's like trying to poop and getting all that stuff off
Yeah.
here.
Got to put in my like breathing mask on and everything just to take one.
And I had Taco Bell earlier. I need to keep going.
So-
No lava sauce though. No.
So the group, they're going to escape inside the Death Star by hiding under the floorboards of the ship and making it look like they jettisons from the ship using the escape pods. And they're going to infiltrate the station by dressing up as Imperial men and stormtroopers. And then they get into the communication station. We had the imagination station in Tullahoma.
Don't they not?
Do you think
still?
they
Yeah,
had
they
like
still-
a
they still do.
getting dressed montage that they had to cut out of the stormtrooper uniforms?
I do love that it's like, luckily they weren't watching the ship that closely because they obviously had to run out to attack those guys. But it's great. I love all this. It's wonderful. It's fun. Feels like an adventure.
Yeah.
Like it's real like spy stuff, which I guess is the kind of the James Bondies thing here.
Sure.
And it's just also some of the funniest and like best quotes from the entire movie are in this section here. So R2-D2 hacks into the computer system and figures out the schematics of the. He did some chopping motions, and we thought that was hilarious.
It's Van Damme, R2.
As Obi-Wan leaves to disable the tractor beam, R2-D2 locates Leia on the ship. The Force will be with you, always. Damn. Just like Harry Potter. Always. Okay.
J.K. Rowling is problematic.
Is this thing on? So Luke persuades Han and Chewbacca to help him rescue Leia, who is scheduled for execution after refusing to reveal the location of the rebel base. Luke says that Leia is the one on the message, and so must be someone important. Han is only convinced when Luke says that Leia is a princess and is likely to be rich and will reward Han handsomely.
Unfortunately,
Then he got dollar signs in his
Gotta
eyes.
talk his language.
all her money gone.
Yep.
She poor now.
So Han
She
and
be
Luke.
stripping in the evenings.
Well, in the third movie,
Yeah.
Han and Luke disguise as stormtroopers with Chewie as their prisoner.
That's
as
why
they
you
get
kept
to Leia's
renting that movie. You
No,
horny
I
bastard.
was really young.
You horny bastard.
I didn't understand. I was actually more attracted to Jabba.
Yeah.
So as they get to so they dress as their prisoner. Chewie's a prisoner as they're going to go to Leia's location. Vader can sense a presence on the Death Star that he's not felt since the presence of his previous master. Chewie, Luke, and Han deceive some security. They essentially just shoot him up, take him out. And then you get one of the best bits in the entire movie. They're Han's answering a intercom after commandeering an attack on the station. Everything's under control. Situation normal. Voice, what happened? We had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? We're sending up a squad. Negative. We have a reactor leak here now, so give us a few minutes. And then he just shoots the thing. It's
What is your number? It's
boring conversation anyways. I just it's so Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote most of the movie with George, and he directed the next one. He said that's his favorite thing he's ever written for the Star Wars movies. He says it's his best thing he's done.
That's funny.
So then Luke, he finds Leia. She's like, aren't you a little small to be a stormtrooper? She shoots her. Because don't talk back, lady. Just kidding. Then Leia comes along when she hears Obi-Wan is with the group because she's just thinking who are you? I'm not going with you. This is gonna be weird. He reports to Moff that Vader reports to Moff that Obi-Wan is on the Death Star, which Moff can't believe as the Jedi are extinct. Well, dude, he didn't even think people could lie a second ago. So, this isn't that crazy. As reinforcements arrive, the group is forced to take a different route back through the garbage chute, but they drop into a garbage masher, which starts to close in after being attacked by a garbage monster.
Big veiny.
I love
tentacle.
all that thing. It just added more
It's funny
it's
because
on a ship and you got this weird creature that you just wouldn't think would be alive on it.
That's funny because when I was watching this time, I was like, this is kind of an awkward scene.
I thought it was cool.
We're just taking a really long time for some reason here.
Yeah.
But I loved it as a kid. A lot.
Yeah, it's cool. There's ships on rats on every ship.
It might have been
Maybe
just the way I was feeling this morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also love, we also get, this is where we get, I got a bad feeling about this. I promise we won't get this anymore in any other movies. We already heard it twice in one. I love Han and Leia's chemistry. They're immediately like a bickering couple. It's I'm ready to kill her or I'm beginning to like her. And they have babies together and it's just true love exists, except it doesn't. Because, they got a divorce eventually. So C-3PO manages to pick up a communications unit when stormtroopers come into the control room, but do not recognize them as the escapee droids. This is where you get the classic trooper bonk. The stormtrooper bonks his head.
You got a gonk in here and then bonk.
Bonk. So using the communications unit, C-3PO gets into contact with Luke, and with R2-D2 in the control room, they disable the garbage masher. The group celebrates while C-3PO thinks it's screams of terror. I love it.
It's all my fault.
It's all my fault. I can't believe it. I'm such an idiot for not thinking. Maybe I should communicate with him. Han and Leia bicker some more, and eventually the two groups reach the hangar where the Falcon is being kept after fighting more stormtroopers. Han running after the stormtrooper. Great. And then he sees Oy! It's so funny and good. So then Darth Vader follows the Force and finds Obi-Wan on the Death Star. After disabling all the tractor beams, Obi-Wan sacrifices himself in a lightsaber duel against Vader. Obi-Wan vanishes into thin air before Darth Vader's lightsaber hits him. If you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you can imagine. And Luke's way sad about it.
I love how Vader was let me just double check here. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, he just starts kicking it.
He's I don't remember hitting him because there should be a body here.
It's if they did a parody now, he just start peeing on his coat. So y'all don't like the lightsaber battle?
And it's kind of it's like two timid people with
Yeah.
like very pokey sticks, like trying not to hit each other too hard.
I always
Yeah.
have the
I don't-
joke. It's like, remember back when we used to be able to do flips and stuff? It's like, yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
oh, yeah. It's so
That's because
sweet.
he didn't know he was going to have him do all these
Maybe he didn't really want to hurt his
wacky flips.
Well, I know that someone came out. I don't know if he ever finished it, and he redid the scene where they're like, it's not as on the level as prequel stuff,
Good.
but they can move more. That's like more accurate to like how they would be at that age.
That's
and
fun.
Well, I
more
just like it.
movement.
I mean, since everybody just, just thinks in their head, it's like, oh, this is why this is happening. I mean, it's two masters going at it, and they're kind of timid and don't want to
I see
like,
what you're saying.
uh,
Like playing chess.
yeah.
Kind of.
You could just say it's like that.
With
But
And
it's very
also,
slow chess.
they just didn't have enough money for stunt doubles. Okay.
just
Yeah, no.
reading each other's.
I like it.
movements
I
so
think
carefully.
there's a lot of story in the slow battle.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
cool. It
what I
gives you
like.
time to talk.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Well, no, I mean in the
You're
movie,
nothing but evil now, Peter.
it's like I don't know, just because you really get to see like the actors' faces acting, except for the guy in the mask, of course.
How's your wife?
Yeah.
Heartbreak.
So Obi-Wan's sacrifice allows the rest of the group to escape the Death Star. Then we hear when a voice from the sky instructs Luke to escape. The Falcon fights off the TIE fighters. First time we're really seeing TIE fighters.
I
Great.
got one.
Greatest noise for a ship
It is
ever.
badass.
It's the best. So using a tracking device on the Falcon, the Empire locates the rebel base on the fourth moon around the planet Yavin. Leia informs Han that R2-D2 is carrying the technical specifications of Death Star. Han doesn't care about any of the rebellion and just wants the money.
Yeah.
I love it. Princess Leia, it's not over yet, Han. It is for me, sister. Look, I ain't in this for your revolution. I'm not in it for you, princess. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money, princess. You needn't to worry about your reward. The money is all that you love, then that's what you'll receive. They're
And
gonna
Luke's like, stop talking to my really hot sister like that.
Yeah. No, he had it all planned. This was all perfectly
Yeah,
planned.
okay, dude. Jesus Christ.
So for a moment, it looks like both Luke and Han are interested in Leia, though, because, like, she walks off and they're like, I'm going to do her, not you.
Game on.
It's like,
we gotta keep our bloodline pure. Keep that force strong.
Oh, no.
like that's such a great little, like, no one really talks about, like, that little moment there, but it's such a great moment of, like, they're friends.
teasing them.
Everybody's kind of together here. You got, like, this budding romance between one of these two people.
On
It's-
and Luke.
Yeah. I'd watch it. So the group lands on the planet and we see X-Wings for the first time. They also look rad. So analysis of the captured Death Star schematics reveals a hidden weakness in a small exhaust port 2 meters wide, leading directly to the station's reactor.
2 meters?
Yeah.
How big's 2 meters? I'm
Hey,
American,
I love the
don't speak
robot
that.
chickens where they're talking. It's like, hey, should we get rid of this exhaust port? That's
Like,
like
They
reach straight to
explain
the
it
reactor.
later.
Yeah, they had to make a whole movie about
They
it.
literally did.
It's like, hey, you know what? Don't really need it
Oh,
because
6 feet.
it doesn't matter. It's okay. We don't have to have everything.
You put like a cover over it or something.
Hey, that was a good movie, though.
It's fine.
You don't like Rogue One?
It's fine. Sometimes I watch it, I'm like, it's great, but mainly I just think it's visually great.
I don't know
Sometimes
shit
I'm like,
about it.
it's kind of boring.
Watch this.
It has been a while since I've seen it.
I mean, sometimes I watch it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And sometimes I watch it, I'm like, all right, like, let's end this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's some good parts in it and some parts that I'm just like, whatever. So a precise hit will start a chain reaction that will destroy the station. After collecting his reward by rescuing Leia, Han leaves the rebels to pay off Jabba. Luke wants them to stay. Han calls the fight a suicide mission, then tells Luke, may the Force be with you.
And
I'm
also
one with the
you.
Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
That's not cool.
No,
Oh my
it was
god.
lame.
Oh my god, dude. Get out of here.
I mean, I think that actor was good and like
Thought
his,
he
his
did?
fighting was pretty good, but I was just like, the chant I'm like, it doesn't work for me. It sounds silly.
Yeah. So I love all the pilots that they picked to the fight. They're all fucking so weird.
Yeah. It's like, what are these George's friends he put in the movie?
Probably.
They all look like such 70s like background actors. That's what's great about
so
it.
Madeline was watching this scene with me. She's like, why do they sound like Family Guy? I was like, I don't know. Probably because they're from Rhode Island or something.
Yeah. So Leia kisses Luke for the second time in the movie, and Luke sees an old friend, Biggs. The rebels plan their attack on the Death Star as they detect it's approaching towards their moon. Luke joins the rebels' X-Wing squadron of 30 ships with R2-D2 installed on his own X-Wing fighter in a desperate attack against the approaching Death Star, which will begin within range and will be within range in 15 minutes. So essentially, this is the end of the movie. In the ensuing battle, Vader leads a squadron of TIE fighters. Well, so Luke and all them start fighting. They're able to like go around.
Their ships are too small for our turbo lasers.
Yes.
I love this battle station. It's like you guys really didn't think about that.
It's like, I mean, realistically, they
couldn't
would
have some little Ewoks out there with some slingshots.
They would realistically probably have like 1,000 TIE fighters like flying around just to make sure nothing gets near them. But budget, right?
Yeah.
So what can you do? But yeah, and they're having some success, but they just keep missing the hole.
They should put some low flow toilets in there. So
Yeah.
they can save more money
But what
for
I love is that Vader's like, fuck it, I'm out here now.
Yeah.
And he's got like a weirder TIE fighter that also looks rad.
Hell
That's the
yeah.
one I played in like the Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
the PlayStation 2 one. I always loved using
Or like
that
the
one.
Rogue One game, Rogue Squadron, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah. I think we can get that on our little Miu Mini. I think that was a
Rogue
PlayStation
Squadron?
1 game. Yeah, something like that. But so, anyways, Vader leads a squadron of TIE fighters against the rebels, and they suffer heavy losses. Vader personally thwarts several rebel attempts to hit the exhaust port with photon torpedoes. Luke is on the last run before the Death Star will be in range of the rebel base. So I had this pin, right? And like it was like a multi-pin. But every time I would click one color, it'd say a line from Star Wars.
Nice.
My favorite one was, I can't shake him. So I would just be like doing homework, just like, I can't shake him. I can't shake him.
Hell yeah.
I just remember Mom's like, stop. I can't remember what the other ones were. I just I wore out that I can't shake
Get ready,
him one.
Porkins.
Yeah.
Can
But
you imagine being that guy on set? It's
He's
like, what's my
like-
character's name? Porkins.
He's like, that's a little on the nose, isn't it?
yeah,
Just put eating Cheetos.
and everything looks like it's all going to be lost. Luke's all alone. But then,
Mario shows up.
Han and Chewbacca unexpectedly return to aid them in the Falcon, knocking Vader's ship off course before he can shoot Luke down. Guided by the voice of Obi-Wan's spirit, Luke uses the Force and switches off the onboard computer to aim his torpedoes into the exhaust port, causing the Death Star to explode moments before it can fire on the Rebel base. Obi-Wan's spirit reminds Luke that the Force will always be with him and also with you.
It was kind of funny, like when he first started talking in his head, he almost crashed because he got distracted.
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like I don't know if that's really what happened. But
If this was made in a galaxy far away around the time about now, I'd just be like texting. It's like, hold on.
texting
Hold
while
on.
driving.
It's like
That's another
Obi-Wan's
X-Wing.
texting him.
Darth Vader runs into the Death Star. It's like, damn.
Somebody take his license
Porkins
away.
gets pulled over by a cop. It's like, wait, just hold on. Let me finish this YouTube video.
He's going through Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
in space.
Oh, but it's great. They did it. You know, it's just like it's just a small little thing, but like they shot it so well and it looks so good. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Like the space looks good. You can tell that it's like a different background, but it's like
Whatever.
I don't know. It fucking goes. I don't know. I love this. This is like bootstrap filmmaking.
Hell yeah.
It makes me feel like I can do it.
I was
I
so
know.
excited when Han comes in and fight and like blasts those other dudes. I was just like, I just feel his chill in my
You're
spine.
just-
It's like,
It's
yes.
like, just watch it at night. Everybody's sleeping. You're like, Yahoo!
What I love is also Han's like, I don't care about all these other people who died. Let me go help my boy out real quick.
Exactly, dude.
It's a me, Han Solo.
He was just like,
We'll
I
get
don't
a.
know. Leia was kind of cute.
I'd like to
I
lay
noticed
at her.
Yeah, it's like also maybe like Luke doesn't look that bad.
They kind of look related, but
Chewie's like, give me some of that R2-D2. But anyways, the gang they land. They're all celebrating. They're a big happy family. It's great. And in a triumphant ceremony, Leia awards Luke and Han medals of their heroism. And you know what I don't care about?
Cleavage?
Who got medals?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Do you think any of the other people in the audience are like, why the fuck are they
Yeah,
getting
because
medals?
did R2-D2 and C-3PO get medals? No, without them, none of this happens.
Everyone
Did
talks
Leia get a
about
medal? No, she's the fucking like leader of the whole group. Those are the people that should also be getting medals.
Mm.
Though Chewie should have got one. But it's also a fantasy movie, and who cares? We really just look at the wrong things. at this point.
Wow.
But if you care, I get it. It's fun of Star Wars. Just like it's
Sexy hero.
like it's
boy
just like
metal.
don't make them like change movies because of this. Anyways, that's Star Wars. It's a perfect film. Hate everybody that says it's great. Second best one. Hate everybody
It's
that says it's
amazing.
not.
You'd love what girlfriend says. She hates the old ones. Like they're so boring.
I don't trust any opinion she ever has about anything.
Oh, I thought so.
That's awesome.
Man, same thing.
So let's do our first category: the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we discuss the good of the film, something we like, the bad, something we didn't like, the ugly, something that didn't age well, the fine, something that did age well. Who wants to start with the good? Shit, don't do me. I'm about to say like all of
Okay.
it.
I don't know. It was cool to watch again after I hadn't seen it probably since I was like 12 or something.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I watch these like every couple of years.
It's been like probably since Rise of Skywalker since I watched them.
No, I did.
No, that's absolutely untrue.
I did kind of enjoy watching to see what was different.
Yeah.
Even though some of it doesn't track, but
Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
cool.
I like just imagination, man. You
Yeah,
know?
it was awesome. Great story.
People had it.
Back
Some
then.
of us still
Bring
do.
back broke people trying to make movies.
Yeah.
Bring back that fire that people had. Give me movies that feel like movies again. Then we
Yeah.
got Rebel Moon that I couldn't even get past like the first 20 minutes because I was so damn bored in it.
Yeah. And also obviously the good is just you know, the models and stuff.
The
It's
toys?
awesome.
Oh yeah.
No, just like you know, miniatures and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Using
Planets
that.
and stuff.
Ah,
It looks
man.
really great. It's just an inspirational movie for filmmakers.
And it was fun to just notice something new about it that I didn't remember. You know. I
yeah.
think that's.
I just-
already
it's-
said that.
It gives you go back and when you watch a bunch of like, when you're watching comes newer movies, then you go back and watch one of these, it's like, why does it feel like these are just like, always makes you wonder, it's like, is it my old man goggles just having
It
nostalgia?
just feels like a warm hug.
Or is this like watching something and appreciating movies on a different level than you can?
Yeah.
I did think Princess Leia was so much hotter now than when I was that age.
Yeah.
In this movie.
Yeah. I've always been a big Han
And
guy.
then you see people with dancer. Like I saw a dance routine of this girl wearing the gold bikini with a big Jabba on stage behind her that was his mouth was moving to the words of a song while she was doing like a sexy little dance.
The influence this thing had.
Dude, that fucking goes. That's ridiculous. All right. The bats should be pretty easy. Did you do your good? Did you have anything else?
Just the cultural influence and what it has like done, and I'm just enjoying like the view
Yeah.
of movies in general with it, because this one can really stand. I feel like if it was a one-off, it could stand that,
Yeah.
still be its own thing.
Hell yeah.
The bad, nothing.
The CG.
I liked it all.
The CG additions
Oh,
later on.
Shit. Well, yeah, I got that in my ugly.
Some of those.
Adding bad CG to
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Good
I
looking
got
movies.
my ugly.
Anything else for bad?
The bad, just no. I mean,
Yeah.
No, not really.
For me, I got the ugly, and it was Star Wars becoming a product, not a vision.
Yeah.
I'll go with
That's
that.
true.
My ugly is the fandom.
Yeah.
Were
Though,
there?
it's like I hate saying that because you know there are good fans. You know, it's not all of them. It's just the loud ones.
The ones who make the most noise get the most attention.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can't say it's like not the whole fandom. But when you have a strong enough majority that the guy who played young Anakin had to go, like it fucked with him mentally, like for years. Like he had to go
Wow.
through, like he went through a lot because of the shit that they like just talk constantly and did everything. And
Yeah.
Like,
that guy's
just-
no good. for-
Wow. that
Christopher
sucks.
Lloyd, right?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. What do you got for ugly?
This doesn't seem like there's any brown people in space.
Not until the sequel.
Don't worry.
Well, if this one.
And don't worry, we get the brown person, and he betrays the white people.
Don't worry.
Yay! But
Years
he's also-
later, when we get the sequels, we got a brown person who was supposed to be a main character gets sidelined to nothing else but saying Ray.
Yep. But you know that was just something I noticed. Like I remember all the other movies kind of they do, but this one, I don't think I remember seeing a single non-white person in the whole movie.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
wild.
whatever. They got aliens and
They're
shit.
I think they're supposed to be the Tuscan Raiders, and they're
my God.
not done very well in
Oh
this.
boy.
Ooh, talk about no snake. Okay, so for the fine, I put actors in the music. It's all great.
Yeah, it's
Yes, John
fucking
Williams,
cool.
man.
Yeah,
Didn't
a
they
legend.
change? Didn't they change the person who does the music, whatever that's called? from the very
Composer.
open, huh?
Composer.
The composer. Didn't they change like from the very beginning, like after the first 30 minutes to a different composer?
Well, they had an original composer and they didn't like anything he was doing, so they brought in a little known guy named called Williams.
I got sad the other day.
Right.
It was like, oh, John Williams showed up at this place, like a music thing, school, whatever. And the comment was like, I was not anticipating to see him in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh my God, he's that old. We can't lose him. He's our last one.
Dude's old. All right. That's that category. We're gonna head to double feature. Sorry, our dog is getting riled up, so we're trying to land this.
He's like, let's talk about the what you really
like
want to
a
talk
dog
about.
in here.
We're landing this Falcon as fast as possible. So double feature.
Falcon.
A movie that you recommend to go along with this. Mine was Guardians of the Galaxy. It is
Nice.
modern day Star Wars.
Hell yeah.
I forgot about this part, so give me a moment.
It's okay. If you don't have anything, you don't have anything. Say Star Trek, piss everybody off.
Shut
Stop.
No, I don't like Star Trek.
You got anything, Jason?
Maybe Spaceballs.
Spaceballs,
I haven't
yes.
seen that one in forever.
It's funny. It still holds up. I watched it recently. I mean, there's long portions of it where you're like,
This is bad.
where's jokes?
Yeah. Yeah,
these
I
jokes?
do remember that.
Yeah.
I hate it because we did it, but Dune would be my recommendation.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah, man.
It's perfect. Don't feel bad about
There
it.
should have been a tie-in.
Yeah,
I
watch
usually try and think of movies that that haven't been done, but getting a lot on here.
It's like
Do you-
a weird space
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
movie idea.
Yeah. All right. So that's our discussion on Star Wars A New Hope. I hope you enjoyed it. We did. This was a long episode, and it's great. We had so much fun, and I hope you did too. And I hope we didn't complain too much at the beginning of it.
No.
But it's hard to do
Is that even
with Star Wars. It's just what you do. And of course, me and Dakota was going to do it a little bit. I tried to like stop it when I knew it was going to go on. Just keep going.
Look,
but
I don't think
it's
people
great.
understand the level of like how many times both our women, the second we bring up The Last Jedi, we have talked about for years. If he ever does an episode where it's just discuss The Last Jedi, it will probably be so fucking long.
Let's see, about 8 more years.
That's how long it's going to take to finish all
Well,
the
because
movies.
if I do one a year, I may later this year do Empire
Like a-
Strikes Back.
I don't know. That one I would say would just be more of like a commentary.
Maybe
episode.
January I'll just do all the prequels in just 1 month to get them out of the way.
Well,
Nice.
I think
That'll be our
well,
negative
always,
year.
if you want, well, I mean, long episodes really suck, but you could do like a part 1, part 2 if you wanted to do. Because I always thought you could do prequels, one bunch. We're going to talk about all this in one go.
Nah,
'cause
we do one movie at a time. That's how I'm gonna do it. That's how this podcast works, baby.
I'm being attacked.
All right, so join us next week because we're gonna do a Nicolas Cage, John Travolta classic that's on Peacock right now.
Face Off?
Face.
Oh my
Yes.
god, I cannot wait. That's on Peacock right now.
Yeah,
I have got to
let's
watch that.
fucking go.
Oh man,
Woo!
that is a wild ride.
We're gonna do coke and talk about it. We're
Hell
not
yeah.
actually doing drugs.
Oh,
No, you can. I don't care.
That's what you need. Someone sitting here while you're trying to watch a movie has done coke. Like, come on, that's
It's so good. And also, when you watch it this time, pay attention to how good of an actor John Travolta is. He literally does a
Does
great
he-
job at becoming Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage just keeps doing Nicolas Cage, baby. And it's also wonderful
No
in its own
notes,
right.
Nick.
Yeah. But yeah, so join us next week for that. Yeah, so please leave us some reviews. Tell us how we did. Tell us what you like about Star Wars. You can go into our description to click leave us some fan mail at the very top, and you can leave us some fan mail. Or you go to our Gmail at we recommend mailbag@gmail.com. Send us an email, baby. I would like to thank Joey Prosser for our intro and outro music. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And god dang it, this has been the We Recommend podcast. I've been Jesse.
I've been Jason.
I've been Dakota.
McClunky!